we can borrow the bus and do some donuts and stuff like that.
I think he'll say yes.
Seems to really value it, though.
I think he's very generous, and he likes us a lot, or he wouldn't come on the show. Because he's retired, he's got plenty of money, he travels whenever he'd like, and...
Now, if we bring Jure, though, then we're going to have to say, you need to buy us another bus.
That's right.
It's you and me in one, and Jure in the other.
Jure gets his own bus?
Yeah.
Just get one of those little Airstream deals. Tow that sucker right behind it.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
See how this is all coming together?
Always thinking over there.
Be just like the studio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
one little layer separating.
That's right. That's right. So we'll ask him and see how he.
If we can borrow the Bort's bus.
Yes, that's gonna be the first thing out of the gate. Can we borrow
the bus?
Just for a while. Not a set amount of time, but
right, a while.
Because we're not sure.
It's a gray area.
It's right. We're just
gotta have a CDL for that thing.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Not if you can find it illegal.
Oh, there we should be able
to California.
I want you to meet Manuel.
Yeah, no
He's
kidding.
from Venezuela. And Manuel has been personally persecuted.
That's right.
He's going to be driving us.
Look at his license.
Now we're going to have to speak to him through an app.
That's right. What does his license say? No name given.
Well, I only gave him Manuel. I don't really know his name.
That's right. Neither does anybody else. We're not sure where he's from. We're not sure if he's a
certain parts unknown.
Is he
like some sort of wrestler?
That's right. What was the dude that you used to use that? Mick Foley or something.
A lot of them used to use that.
Parts unknown. As if there's a place on Earth that is so unknown. It's from parts unknown.
That's exactly right.
What is he, from the bottom of the sea?
Yeah, I mean, he is he's from outer space with Anna Paulina Luna, Angel Face.
Angel Face was getting after it. I got to see her with Patrick. That was my drive yesterday with as much windshield time as I had. Patrick Bet David, and I made sure to save that audio to be like, I'll get into this a little bit later in the show with you.
I'm glad.
I'm just saying that this is a woman who she has been privy to a lot of information, but as she brought up during the podcast with Patrick Bet David, they don't have subpoena power. So when she talked about the stuff they think we're going to find out the most about, she's like, JFK. She's like, but they're having to learn from foreign entities. Like, there are foreign countries that were willing to share more data about what their intelligence officials have on the JFK assassination than our own will. Which seems weird, doesn't it?
It does seem odd.
Strange.
Seems odd, yes.
It's conspiracy theory at 6:06 in the morning.
That's right. Almost as odd as a Islamist as mayor of New York. What are we, like 10 days away from that?
It's happening.
Oh, I know it's happening. It's so disheartening, but yes.
And by the way, I know you love baseball. I love baseball. There was no chance of me staying up for that thing.
I had 2 innings in.
I got to the 7th inning, and I was checking out.
Yeah.
I was like, that's about enough for me for the night.
It's the longest by innings game in World Series history.
18 innings, more than 6 hours, and Freddie Freeman puts the whole thing to bed last night.
Of course, Freddie Freeman did.
Of course.
Dude.
It's a great story. It's awesome.
I think the world of Matt Olson. I do. I think he's great. Freddie Freeman, he should be here. He should be in Atlanta. If there is anything right in the world, and there's not.
Again, if you don't know the story, that's on his agent.
Oh, I know.
To the point where he fired his agent after all of this happened.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Gosh, it's the worst.
Do you want to know the behind the scenes on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty well versed in it. I think I know it pretty well, but not everybody does.
So I'm with Chuck and Chernoff. We're at a promotional event. And listen, things don't leak from the Braves. Things leak from the agents and the rest of Major League Baseball. And so we felt pretty plugged in what was going on.
Yeah.
And we felt like, okay, it's the Braves and it's Tampa. Those are the teams that are going to do this. And the deal is on the table. It's like 4 years. And Tampa is not looking to push at that same level. Well, you have Freddie Freeman's agent basically go to the Braves and go, hey, he's got a 5-year. And here's the number. And the Braves are starting to panic because, all right, he's got a 5-year deal we're looking to go for. The money's about the same. Well, who's the team? Well, not getting into that. So we're hearing all this secondhand at this event. Like, we're all working the phones, and we're hitting up the agents that we know. And we're going through that whole procedure. And again, the Braves don't leak. So, you can reach out to the Braves if you want. During this stuff, Alex Anthopoulos is not going to get back to you.
Yeah.
It's just how it's going to be. But what occurs? You had the scenario where the Braves looked at what was going on, what they were told by the agent, what they were told that they were going to lose Freddie Freeman over this part of the deal. And so they jumped and went for Matt Olson. And so Freddie ends up, he didn't even have a deal. There was no team with a fifth year op with 5 years on the table.
Right.
There was none. And so that's why when all of it played out the way he did and he went to LA for essentially the same money that he would have gotten for 4 years in Atlanta, he fired his agent.
And his first trip back to Truist Park, he came in the Braves player lot and went straight to the Braves clubhouse because he wanted to be here the whole time.
It's an unfortunate set of circumstances, but I get it. I'm worried that my guy's leaving. I'm not getting to get anything out of it.
Yeah, of course.
And I got to make a move to have some first base. And I'm a championship chasing team.
I don't blame the Braves on this one at all.
And that's why he fired his agent.
There's plenty of things that the Braves do. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Or I'll have some reaction to it. But that one I didn't. It wasn't the Braves' fault. They didn't do anything wrong on that.
So that's why I don't have a problem with seeing him do well. I don't look at him as
the
villain who left town.
Either.
I look at it as an unfortunate set of circumstances and events that all occurred. And I just remember me and Matt Chernoff and Chuck Oliver, Chuck and Chernoff show, were at a hockey game in Gwinnett. And the text messages are flying all over the place about what was going on.
Yeah.
And we're sitting up in a little suite with some listeners who had won, and everyone's like, "What's going on?" And all of us are working the phones. Of just like, okay, here's what I'm being told. Here's what I'm being told.
Here's the gouge, and it turned out to be.
It was a ruse.
It was a ruse.
Let me see if I get a fifth. I'm going to get a fifth year from your people by doing this.
It was a dark day, is what it was in Atlanta Braves history.
Good for Freddie.
Good for Freddie.
He's having some more postseason moments.
Yeah, of course, because he's a great ball player, and he would have been a great ball player in Atlanta, where he belongs. But
where he belongs. Like he's having the kind of career there at the end of the career where I don't know if he's got to sign the 1 day deal, right?
Yeah, to come back to yes, he will. There's no doubt.
Like even a guy like Aaron Rodgers on Sunday Night Football with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he even talked about, I want to sign the 1 year deal with the Packers when I retire.
Of course.
Okay, that makes the most sense. Freddie's having a big end of the career with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Like it might be 2 rings.
Yeah.
It might be a World Series MVP. It might be the kind of things that you did a little bit more there than you did here based on how great that team is.
Yeah.
And he's a California guy. Well, a Canadian guy whose family is now his wife.
California. Yeah. Good heavens. Doesn't it drive you crazy when things don't happen the way they're supposed to? And what in life does, really? But that's the stuff that drives me up the stinking wall. When you're like, why? And anyway, Matt Olson's great. Glad to have Matt Olson. He's a great ball player.
You work in politics. You know how things don't work out.
Exactly, but that's
even
right.
when you want it.
That's exactly right, man. And they don't and won't.
Right now, and we've enjoyed. Now we're down to week 5.
28?
Yeah, day 28, week 5. Don't you think that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries thought, hey, by now they're going to cave, and not only are they going to cave, but the news media and the American public will blame them for what they've done.
And then the government workers unions are like, pass the clean CR.
Man, once
Just
that went down
outright.
yesterday, that was a big player. If you missed it in the news, and trust me, the news doesn't want to tell you about this sort of stuff, the government unions turned on the Democrats as of yesterday. We thought it was going to be over the SNAP benefits, the welfare benefits.
Which, that's another story in and of itself.
It's a big deal.
Good heavens. That number's gigantic.
That number, and we'll get into all the data on that as well today. But to see the government unions turn on the Democrats and blame them, I think that's where I don't think this has many legs left to run
right.
on this
The
thing.
wind is out of the sails.
Yeah, when the unions turn on you, and let's face it, unions typically vote Democrat. That has now been changing in this country in the last about 3 years. We'll see how this now plays out. But I think that's, if there's going to be something where you finally had the straw that broke the camel's back, it's getting close once that happens.
I think so, too. And it's hard not to because they used the language that Mike Johnson has been using the entire time. You've passed this clean CR so many times. Now,
what are we at? 11, 12?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But even before that, even before this opportunity, they've passed clean CRs, several times to keep the government open. Again, I don't rely on the government for much, so it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. And that probably sounds callous a little bit. But I don't. I rely on the government for almost nothing.
Right. What am I missing out on
nothing.
On a daily basis as of now?
I mean, if you're I was reading that Southwest Airlines is the most busy airline domestically, and they're taking the biggest gut punch, and Delta taking the smallest gut punch because they're such a worldwide airline. I don't fly. Rarely do I ever fly. I have no need for the government in my life. Zero. And that's the way I like it.
I won't need it until the spring when we travel a little bit more. And I would imagine at that point, I don't have to worry about a shutdown.
You'll probably be squared away.
And if it was going to be ugly enough, like we don't have stories yet. Like we have some about, some TSA members haven't shown up to work. Psst, it's the TSA.
Yeah.
That's regular.
Yeah.
All right.
There's nothing new about that.
Nothing new about that. Just how it goes. But until I get the story of 5-hour lines at the airport because there's not enough TSA agents,
yeah,
not too worried.
Yeah. And
not too concerned.
And then I probably would be. And I get, if you're in sales and travel a lot for work, then I'm sure it's a pain in your neck.
Maybe, I don't know if they've noticed. I'd love to hear from somebody.
Yeah, if you're in sales.
404-741-1230. If it has become more of a pain for you to travel right now, let us know.
Because it is not bothering me one bit. There's nothing that's happening with this federal shutdown that is affecting my life at all. And that's another question I want to ask. Is it affecting you? Not just for sales, but just anybody. Is this affecting you?
I went to a national
family?
park.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't allowed in.
Oh, my. Or they made me walk around with no tour guide.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gone to any national parks. I'm not.
You know what I've noticed? Everyone in Congress has had a lot more time for interviews.
No kidding.
They're like, we're shut down.
Yeah, might as well talk to everybody.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And that's another thing on Speaker Johnson. When the Democrats were pointing out, well, he just gave everybody like 3 weeks off, 4 weeks off. It's almost as if they had it in their mind. This is how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
Like it's been telegraphed.
Yeah.
So he gave a lot of his members take the month off. We'll see you.
Just know. Yeah, the largest federal union. Congress needs to pass the clean stopgap and end the shutdown. New York Post, huge blow to the Democrats, or otherwise known as the communists, because that's what they are. That's what I mean. Let's not even call them Democrats anymore. We just call them communists.
I feel like we're way ahead of the curve on this because we've had people that have done this job for the longest time, and they would refuse to call them communists.
Well, Neil.
Yeah, Neil's one of those guys. He's like, well, why would you call them that? It was used more jokingly as you talked about the story of your family member saying, like, you try to open up a can and it's not working correctly. He'd be like, communist.
Commie can.
Like, that's just
no
funny.
Good. Yeah.
It's just funny. You grew up with it during the Cold War.
Right.
Now what happens when they're actual communists?
Buddy, things are...
That's what Mike Johnson was pointing out. Speaker Johnson was like, hey, Hakeem Jeffries finally got behind Mamdani. He's like, the moderates in that party do not have a place any longer.
And no, they don't.
Come
They
on over.
do
That's why
not.
my tent
Absolutely.
keeps getting bigger.
That's right. It's us against the communists. And when you boil it down to that, because there's been so many people, I don't want it to be us against them. And I understand that mentality. But when you realize they're communists, it's us against them, and I'm just fine with it.
Yes, they're not looking to work with you.
The Islamists, too, because they're in there hooked arm in arm.
See, here's the big difference. And this is where the old school moderate center-left Democrat doesn't have a place in that party anymore and truly doesn't exist. Because the problem is you can always identify with, I'm lifelong Democrat. This is how I look at things. I'm quite liberal. This is my view of the world. But your leadership is so far out there. And the things that they talk about and the things that they bring up, that it is skewing so far to the left that certain people who have been traditional Democrats now come across as crazy. I love that we played the Raging Cajun the other day. I love that James Carville sits there talking about how he's scared for his country. You know why? Part of the reason why he's scared, and I don't think he really got to elaborate, he's like, they don't even listen to me anymore.
Yeah, well,
Like, so what direction do you think this is going between a group that has decided on the right, we can't work with you at all, y'all are nuts, and a group on the left that says, I want to kill everyone over there.
And I want to overthrow the government. I want to have Sharia law. Like the Islamist factor in this is huge. Mamdani, his parents, devout communists.
No, they are not a fan of this country.
No, they are
60 years of always being like, we hate this place.
And a teacher at Columbia University.
How do you think you ended up with this spawn?
Yeah, influencing other people. And that's the thing. His mama was very vocal. His mama's been very vocal about how, we raised him this way. We want you to know that he's an Islamist. We want you to know that he's a communist. We want you to know that he hates this country and will do anything to destroy it with a smile. That's the thing. He's got that really nice smile. He's well-spoken. Oh, my Lord. Your note that New York City will look like Venezuela, we're 100% correct.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
100% correct.
Let's watch the financial district.
Ooh, boy, oh, boy. When we come back, a rare thank you from a typically ungrateful place. 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. This is the Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3.
Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Glenn Beck until noon. Clay and Buck from noon to 3. And the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. Plus Jesse Kelly from 6 to 9. And Jimmy Vela from 9 to midnight. The voices you need all day with the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
I want you to go to southernexteriors.co. I'm going to do that now as we sit here. southernexteriors.co. And at the top left, under the offer, limited time, 0% financing for 12 months or 10% off any project. We've been talking about that a bunch. Right below that is the Christmas Give Back tab. It's in red. And the Christmas Give Back is a great thing to do. Southern Exteriors last year replaced a person's roof, a family's roof. It was joyful. It was perfect for the holiday season and Christmas and the meaning of Christmas. So Southern Exteriors has partnered this year with James Hardy Siding to provide a free siding remodel for a deserving neighbor in need. You can nominate yourself or someone else by sharing their story and explaining why their home deserves that fresh start. All entries must be submitted by December 1st. December 1st. So make sure you get this done. And one deserving home will be selected for this special transformation. And that's the thing about James Hardy Siding. It is the best of the best. Helping someone in need with a complete James Hardy Siding remodel. This thing could be up to $30,000, depending on the size of the house. So if you know someone, find themselves in a situation, Southern Exteriors wants you to nominate them. Can't wait to make a difference in someone's life this holiday season. I know it sounds crazy to say this holiday season, but it's coming. You figure Friday, after Friday, it's a free fall to New Year. It's nonstop. It's so fast. So get the nomination in because it's got to be in by December 1st. Complete James Hardy Siding replacement, southernexteriors.co. It's southernexteriors.co.
Attention extra listeners. The end of the year is closing in. Are your retirement plans ready? We at Master Plan Retirement Consultants are holistic retirement planners, including income and growth planning, tax strategies, and estate and legacy planning. Each piece of the retirement puzzle must fit together cohesively because we know a change in one area can inevitably affect the others. Our boutique team serves you with fiduciary care, ensuring every step moves you closer to a confident, sustainable retirement. Don't wait. There's still time to adjust your plan before year end. Schedule your complimentary consultation now at masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Join Daniel Matalon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. This week's guest is the founder of the W. Scott Smith law firm, Scott Smith. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A West Point football player and his dad, who saved someone from a car explosion in New York, makes today's Dean's List. Larry Pickett Jr. and his father were having a family dinner and on their way back to campus when they witnessed the fiery crash on the highway just a few miles from West Point. The sedan had slammed into a utility pole with smoke everywhere and dangerous live wires were on the ground. The driver was trapped, so Larry and his dad got out of their car to see if they could help. Larry says they just knew the vehicle was about to catch fire and time was limited to get the person out. Larry Sr. says he's not surprised his son did not hesitate to spring into action. His military training kicked in and they both pulled the driver out and waited until emergency crews came on scene. He says he lives the highest values of the Army and West Point, which is instilled in all of their cadets with the motto duty, honor, and country. Janice Dean, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, October 28th. A study from Texas A&M reveals that a new day of the week is now Metro Atlanta's worst for traffic congestion. The research found that while Fridays still have the highest total traffic volume, the longest delays and slowest average speeds happen on Thursdays. Experts attribute the pattern to hybrid work schedules. Many office-based workers commit to in-person days midweek, pushing more commuters onto the roads within a shorter period of time. A new online training program set to launch in 2026 aims to attract and train youth sports officials for local leagues in Georgia. The course is fully digital and designed for citizens to complete training and start officiating in community youth sports, helping address the growing shortage of game officials. The program is backed by funding from the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, the Atlanta Braves Foundation, and the NFL Foundation in partnership with the Georgia Recreation and Park Association. And former Georgia Governor and U.S. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue has been inducted into the National Agriculture Hall of Fame in Kansas City. Officials say Perdue will join past agriculture pioneers like Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson in the Hall's collection. He's the third Georgian inducted. Today's weather cloudy and chilly with some scattered showers. We have a high of 55. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
I just don't know how to go on. The East Wing is gone. It's just gone.
People didn't care one bit about it, couldn't tell you anything about it, couldn't describe it.
I'm having a hard time keeping it together, Los, this morning.
I wonder how strange it must be that you have to wait back for your marching orders from MSNBC to know what you need to be upset about.
Right.
Because, quite honestly, whether it's there or turned into a garage or turned into swap shop or a ballroom, none of this affects me one bit.
0%. I've never been to the White House. I've seen it from a distance.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Seen it from a distance.
Like, oh, there's the White House.
There it is. Wow, that's great. That's about it. But it's your house. No, it's not. I mean, but do my tax dollars pay for it? Sure. That's not my house. I've never been there. Have you been to your house before? Like your house. Have you been there?
I've been to my own house.
That's what I'm talking about.
But when it comes to, like, let's say my neighbor's remodel of their basement, that doesn't affect me one bit, nor would I care.
But for them, they are losing their mind.
And by the way, you're not even using my money, so why do I care?
That's right. But they're so upset. They have nothing else to do. That's the only way that they feel like they can get, a leg up, because they have nothing to argue otherwise. And MSNBC just did a full segment on will Trump name the East Wing after himself? No, the answer is no. But it's so dumb. Like, that's what you're spending time on this morning.
If it upset them, would it be better?
Yeah, yes, it would. But he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
In fact, I would love the Donald Trump East Wing brought to you by.
Right.
And then it's every other donor.
Right, every name all listed out. Like the way they do, like when they do like a remodel of a university.
Treat it like a bowl game.
That's right, absolutely. Get as many names on that thing as you can.
Tostitos Fiesta Bowl on Nick Saban Field.
Right.
At Bryant-Denny Stadium.
That's right, as much as you can get.
The Bass Pro Shops Ballroom.
That's right. The Bass Pro Shops Ballroom, brought to you by Donald Trump in honor of.
Yeah, that's right. When you get compliments, at least in my experience in life, anytime you get a compliment, most often you know who it comes from, and they're giving you the tip of the hat because they love you and they're proud of you, and they say, man, that's a good job that you've done. It's rare, so rare, when it comes from out of the blue, someone that's normally just on your case all the time, and then they give you the tip of the hat. That's when it's surprising and good.
I keep saying, when there is something that you can win, even if it's a Trump policy, Democrats take the W and then claim it's your own. Because that's part of the problem that they have. There's not enough wins, and they refuse to do anything that Donald Trump is considering. Well, some of them are starting to wise up to this. They're starting to get around it. Hey, that actually does kind of work.
How long have you been saying this?
We've been on this for months now.
And months and months.
It's like 3 months of take the victory when it's presented to you. And if you want to claim it as your own, that's fine. Even claim you gave Trump the idea. This is no cash on tips thing. No tax on tips.
Yeah.
That was my idea initially.
Yeah.
I mean, just do it.
Kamala was drunk and figured it out.
She was like, this is a great idea. He has a great idea over there. I'll say it. So this ends up being Kevin Bethel. Now, he is the commissioner of the Philadelphia Police Department. And I can tell you from the last time I was in Philadelphia, that is a trank city. If you don't know about trank, it's that tranquilizer and fentanyl stuff that's showing up all over American cities, downtown areas where people look like the Walking Dead. There's zombies. And it leads to a lot of crime in order to get this stuff. And also the gang problem that goes along with it as far as slinging this stuff. So Kevin Bethel actually worked with the FBI, of all people, to, hey, we got a gang problem. This is the stuff they're slinging. We need you to help us out. And he went in front of the country as a guy who's appointed by Democrat representation and said this.
Wanted to recognize the team here today. As I live around the group here, Director Patel, I appreciate the support, and I share with you behind the scenes my appreciation for my colleague and law enforcement colleagues and the U.S. Attorney here as well, colleagues from the state. I mean, this is the work. I constantly tell people, we are having significant success across the city this year. And it's not just about, the Philadelphia Police Department. It's those relationships that we've had for quite some time. And we continue to use those relationships to move forward. It was just not too long ago after Kata Scott's, we found her murderer. It was the FBI that I returned to help us in that investigation and talking to Wayne throughout that. So we're constantly behind the scenes working together. And I'm just so appreciative of that.
There's just more resources that the FBI has that regular law enforcement does not have access to. So when you're having a crime issue, why not? And that's what he's thanking Director Patel for helping him do.
But being willing, you just got to be willing. You have to want to end that problem that you're up against. So many of these politicians don't want to end it. And I would like to believe they're handcuffing the police and the people in charge, because I don't believe you get into police work going, I don't want to arrest any criminals. Why would I do that?
We've got a certain amount of crime that we'll allow.
Yeah, that's right, man. You got to let it be. It creates an environment here in the city that we want. Nobody says that. Nobody. That's why it has to be politics that prevents. And so good for the
Kevin Bethel, the commissioner of the police department.
Good for the commish for going and even if he didn't thank Kash Patel, which is amazing that he did, but even if he didn't, the fact that he worked with them to improve the lives and the standard of living for the people in Philadelphia, that's a big, big win. and he didn't have to thank Cash, it would have still been a win for the administration because Cash was on the ground whether they got thanked or not.
And you get to now take the W.
That's right. He's taking the victory lap.
That you were appointed by the Democrats within the city, and here's what you came up with, and here's who you worked with in order to accomplish the goals of the city. These are the obvious wins.
So easy.
That we keep saying.
So easy.
You got to get past the Trump derangement syndrome. Actually, the administration has some pretty good ideas on a number of ventures. And so if you choose just to say, like, nope, none of it at all, well, then you take the biggest L when it works out. Whereas if there's elements that you go with and you say, I like this idea, and what the Democrats should be saying is, here's how I would enhance this idea. Mm-hmm. Here's the direction I would be taking it. Instead, it's, nope, none, zero, zilch.
And if he's the face of it, if Commissioner Beathard is the face of it, then the people, even though he thanked Kash Patel and is getting support from the federal government, he is the face, meaning the people in his community are saying, thank you, Commissioner. They're not going, how'd you get it done? No, they're saying, I'm glad you got it done.
Like, it was shocking to Fox News over the weekend where Wes Moore, governor of Maryland, he talked about, well, I'd accept federal help, but then as the person's like, what? Then he just turns it into all the conditions by which he would need it. It's like, take the W, man. It's like you're being offered the dub.
Well, you have the audio for Wes Moore. Because
it's shocking because he is now suddenly agreeing with what we've seen the mayor of Memphis say, the mayor of D.C. say, that you have the Philadelphia commissioner that starts bringing up what it's helped add to the community by having federal involvement.
You can't miss the track record.
Wes Moore starts to go down the road of like, yeah, I've been saying no to this. But then it turns into, yeah, but I have my own conditions.
Governor, I appreciate the investment, but it would just seem to me if despite that investment, Baltimore still ranks third in the nation in violent crime rate per capita in the nation, that you would welcome in the President of the United States' help if crime in Maryland. And as to the point of partisan politics, it's simply the truth. The truth isn't partisan. And the truth is most of the major cities in the United States are run by Democrat governors, and they're also the highest rate crime cities in the country. I'm on limited time, and I want to give you a chance to address something,
I would
though,
absolutely
Governor. Because President
welcome
Trump brought
federal
it up.
support.
Apparently, there we go. You would welcome federal support. That's wonderful to hear.
I would absolutely welcome federal support.
Happy to hear that.
But I also know what federal support is going to be necessary and required. It's the reason that I've said we would love to have additional support for license plate readers, things that we know can actually stop crimes as they are happening and making sure that people are brought to justice, and not having $30 million cut from public safety budgeting that is coming from the federal government. That I would love to be able to make sure that the federal government can do things like ban ghost guns and making sure we're eliminating these extended clips for Glocks, which essentially are turning Glocks into automatic weapons. I would love to make sure we're investing in local law enforcement, because we are watching cuts that are happening to local law enforcement and also gun safety funding.
Governor, we can't let all of that stand in the way of the immediate solution being offered by the federal government. Well, you can't let all of that stand in the way and be an excuse for rejecting the solution being offered at the doorstep, which is the help of the federal government when it comes to National Guard.
That again, he's looking at these situations of, I'll accept federal help as far as National Guard, but I need all this. All right, if you're telling me that you need license plate readers, that sounds like a state issue. If you're telling me that you need legislation to ban ghost guns, I
think there's plenty of it out there already.
We already have a lot of laws on the books as far as, if you don't got serial numbers, here's the problem. If you're telling me that you want to have laws that, and this has been debated in the Supreme Court, and it's largely fell into the laps of those that are anti-gun, the ability to try and make your own ghost gun at home, it's hard to do it, and in some cases it falls into an illegal area. Mm-hmm. So he's still creating these scenarios by which, well, this is the only way I would take federal help. Why not just take the National Guard on your streets and clean stuff up right now?
He's betting against his own city, because you've seen, if you're a smart bettor, you're a smart gambler, you gamble on what D.C. did. You gamble on what Memphis did. You gamble on what now Philadelphia has done. And he's not terribly far from Philadelphia. So he's seeing that up close and personal. How, if you're a gambling man, why not gamble on the hot hand?
And I think about, as you said, what D.C. did. What D.C. had done to them, and they're now celebrating.
But at least Muriel Bowser, give her credit. I don't agree with her.
She turned on it. She was like, this is smart. This works.
Philadelphia, the commissioner there.
Thank you for the FBI enhancing going after the gangs that we were going after.
Why not play the hot hand? Instead, he's like, no, we'll do it, but there's no but. Do you want your safer community or do you not? There's not really a but.
Well, and I think it goes to a larger issue as well. When you have these district attorneys and this system of law that have been put in place in so many of these states, even if you have, we've got all these readers, that's great. Why are you going to turn them back loose 24 hours later?
Yeah, that's on you. Nobody's making you do that.
Why is your criminal justice system so about equity and fairness that you're being like, no cash bail?
But it sounds so good.
Yes.
Like on the surface.
He can't afford $5,000. We're not going to give him any bail.
So we're just going to let him go. And then he's back in here tomorrow because he's done something
else.
Maybe even worse.
So you got all the readers you needed. You got all the license plate readers. And yet you're not using
them anyway. You're not doing anything with the resources that you already have.
It just helps you locate them a little bit quicker and put them into the system a little bit quicker and turn them out a little bit quicker.
Go with the guy with the track record. Go with Donald Trump. Go with Kash Patel. They've shown you it works just fine. And you know what? There's been no backlash. Here's the other thing. If he's worried about backlash, there's been none. There's no people in D.C. going, darn. I
can't believe we did this.
I sure wish the criminals were back on the streets. I sure wish I couldn't go to dinner. I wish I couldn't take my kids. Same way with Memphis. Same way with now Philadelphia. You have a track record, dude.
All right, so there's a funny line in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, and it's in the second one, The Dark Knight. And what it is it's the district attorney talking to the mayor, and they talked about how they went through this wave where they just took all these people off the street, all these criminals. And the mayor is looking at him like, you know how flimsy this is going to be? Like, do you really think this is going to stick? And he's like, some will make bail. It's like, but think about all you can do with 18 months of clean streets.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, think what you, as a politician, think what you could do if Chicago's, because right now they're headed for 500 murders. And they're sitting back like, look at the improvement. Improvement was from 850. We shouldn't have 500 murders in any American city.
It's nuts.
What if you had 100? What if you can get it down to that number? And think about all the good you could do with clean streets, cleaner streets.
And what you could campaign on.
And what you could campaign on.
Look what I brought you.
Look what I helped secure.
I know I have a 6% approval, but I bet that goes up to 16.
Maybe I can
goes up to 26.
Maybe I can double it to 12.
Who knows? Who knows? But you have to at least make the attempt. They have no desire because they're taking the wrong side of the issue again because they hate Trump so much.
Think about all you can do with clean streets.
It's the spot to be. It is the spot to be. Why wouldn't you want to be there? Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3. Trump is building a new ballroom for nefarious reasons, says CNN. Next on the Morning Xtra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, October 28th. The LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays took more than 6 hours to determine just who was going to lead the World Series. The Dodgers won 6-5 in 18 innings. Former Atlanta Brave Freddie Freeman hits a walk-off homer to end it. The Dodgers now lead the World Series 2-1. Game 4 is set for tonight. First pitch is set for 8 o'clock. The Atlanta Hawks are now off to a 1-3 start after losing in Chicago last night to the Bulls, 128-123. The team is back in action Wednesday night in Brooklyn. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Go beyond just a baseball game with your Atlanta Braves and check out Truist Park's Ballpark Tour. See the ballpark like never before and explore the franchise's rich history with artifacts, exhibits, and more, led by tour guides who will take you to places behind the scenes that most fans have never seen before, including the press box, premium club spaces, and of course, step onto the field where your favorite Braves players battle it out during the season. And each tour comes with a complimentary player chain necklace. Visit Braves.com/tours to purchase your tickets today. And did you know Truist Park can host your next event? As a year-round facility, we host private events ranging from corporate meetings, trade shows, team building events, holiday parties, rehearsal dinners, you name it, Truist Park can host it. Visit Braves.com/events to get started on creating an experience like never before with one of Truist Park's unique venues. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, this is Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. So things are deceiving sometimes, and it's hard to explain how much money I can really save you. I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. I mean, it really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. You know, on a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. I mean, let's be realistic. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000, but it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%, or really it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. We found a better way for customers to buy a car, an honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee. We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal. So the beauty of what we do is we don't put you on a car that we have to sell. We put you on a car that you want. And at the Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car. Call 1-844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
This is Governor Brian Kemp. Georgians are used to affordable, reliable energy because of the good work of our Public Service Commission. And as your commissioner, Fitz Johnson secured a 3-year Georgia Power rate freeze and made sure our state's growth isn't hitting your wallet. Fitz is keeping rates down and money in your pocket and standing against Democrats who want hardworking Georgians to pay over $800 more per year. Keep Fitz Johnson in the fight by voting early or on Election Day, November the 4th.
Georgians First Leadership Committee paid for this ad.
Fox on Tech.
The Alpha schools believe the traditional education system is failing and it's time to change it. They're swapping out traditional teachers for artificial intelligence. The AI creates personalized lesson plans for each student depending on their needs. Students are taught by the AI for just 2 hours in the morning, and the rest of the day is all about learning life skills like critical thinking and public speaking through hands-on workshops. There are still humans in every classroom, but they're known as guides, and their job is just to motivate and give students support. There are more than a dozen Alpha schools across the country, including in Texas, New York, Miami, and San Francisco. Typical tuition ranges from $10,000 to $75,000. The founder believes this is the future of education, and public schools can adopt a similar model to make it more affordable for everyone. With Fox on Tech, Brooke Taylor, Fox News.
The only thing better than covering all these Trump wins is watching the left implode over it.
Donald Trump is entertaining the world while he's changing the whole freaking planet.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bring you the news you care about most. From Atlanta legends and conservative voices you've relied on for a generation. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
MSNBC is they're talking to the author of a book called Retribution, Donald Trump and the Campaign That Changed America. We watch this crap so you don't have to. It's so
they hold the book.
lame. Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. And I'm sure it's all, I have no idea, but I'm sure it's all about how Donald Trump is only back in office because he's going after his political enemies.
Well, it makes sure on the cover to have the iconic picture from Butler, Pennsylvania.
For sure. Morning Xtra at Extra 106.3. Tug and Los until 10. If you think that's crazy, I got one more for you.
I like crazy.
Yes, and this is. So, forever, those networks, MSNBC and CNN, they've been telling you how Donald Trump is destroying the White House. Has no use for the magical history, no use for the historical prominence of the East Wing.
It feels like he's tearing down monuments.
It's right, or something, and melting them down and taking them away, erasing history.
He's erasing our history.
That's right. But CNN has pivoted away from that, Los. They've got a new angle on why he's building this new ballroom and tore down the East Wing. It's because he ain't going anywhere.
President Trump himself has suggested running again multiple times. He is even selling Trump 2028 merch, both online and at the White House. The demolition of the East Wing this week has also added some fuel to this fire. Would you totally renovate a house that you were about to move out of?
No.
All right, let's talk about the real comedy here. There was a woman who posted online like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
It's on a satire site. And she got these people to start going along with it. She's like, why would you renovate a house you're about to move out of? Mm-hmm. This means he's staying. He's going underground. Again, it's a satire. Mm-hmm. But she did it with a straight face, and it immediately had the left going, maybe she's got a point. Oh, Mike, now. And I will tell you, and this is where the left does what they do. They looked at her and said, she's lesbian. She's not kidding around.
She checks the box. She's
right.
got credibility.
She checked one of the boxes, and you went, oh, let me let down my truth shield here and just say, I firmly believe you. Donald Trump, we can go back to 2015, 2016, during the Barack Obama years, where he talked about the White House needs a ballroom.
Yeah.
He's like, enough with having these tents. You're having foreign dignitaries, and you basically set up tents on the front lawn.
It's like a trailer. It's like the trailers in elementary school.
Yes. We don't need the portables.
That's all right.
Do you not have enough room for all the kids? Why are we having portables?
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I used to just think, this doesn't say anything about the size of my school or money or school district. I thought, hey, we walk out to the portables. You shouldn't be walking out to the portables.
No, you shouldn't. And there should be a ballroom. Yes. I mean,
he's been talking about it for a decade.
Wow. Why now,
But
though?
it's a talking point.
Of course, because they got nothing else. What else are they going to talk about?
What else are they going to go to?
I guess they could talk about New York and Mamdani, but then they're going to say, a communist is going to run the biggest city in America.
Does it stoke the fear? Does it get the liberals out there to go, maybe he really won't leave? Oh, no. What are we going to do now?
The 2028 hats. He's made 2028 hats. You don't leave if you have a 2028 hat.
Yeah, because he's trolling you so hard.
And you're buying it hook, line, and sinker.
Because the more that you were sitting there spinning like a top, going crazy, the more he comes across as sane and normal. I can't handle it. And he's just sitting back going, all right, I'm gonna go make another peace deal.
That's right. I'm gonna go to Japan. We're gonna work out something really good. Y'all still be talking about the ballroom.
The harder you spin off into space and you like pew, like you go shoot off.
Pew pew pew.
The more political capital you give him. It's like, start acting like mature adults. And like, I did it. I was like, Joe Biden's broken. Let me go about my day. I didn't sit at home sitting there going like, well, is today the day he dies? No. What if we see his name in the obituary? I'm like, no. Let's go about this the right way. But your frustration feeds Donald Trump's power. I love it. And keep it up.
All we talked about was, here's what he's doing. We're talking about Joe Biden. Here's what he's doing while in office. And we pointed that out. Never once did we celebrate any of his deficiencies, any of his health issues. We didn't celebrate any of that. We made it a point to say, this is awful. I can't believe they're propping this poor man up and using him the way that they are. That's what we said. But they did. They had no problem with it. And they have no problem with talking about Donald Trump and I wish he would die and hopefully cholesterol does its work and all this, just
all the craziness.
And then you see another thing that's along these same lines. Have you seen the Charlie Kirk Halloween costumes?
Yes, I have. There's another one where, please, let's make sure that, and again, I don't have a problem with this anymore. If you want to do something that is in such bad taste where a man was murdered in front of his family and in front of the nation, was assassinated, I mean, I don't see you doing this with MLK. Mm-hmm. Do you?
Mm-mm. No, of course not.
No, so let's make sure that whoever these people, because they post them, it's part of what you do for Halloween. I mean, I love Halloween. Halloween's great. But this is one of those where you go, all right, does anybody recognize this person? And let's let his work know. Because we're batting a pretty high number of getting these people out of work.
I don't know we're hitting 1,000, but we're at like 990.
I mean, just this week, the professor, the guy who worked at whatever small college where he was talking about shooting ice, having a gun and shooting ICE agents.
Gone.
He's gone.
Gone.
It's like you get a short review time and they go, what an unhinged person. You got to go.
Why would I hire someone like that? Why would I employ someone like that?
Because it's not normal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I'm an employer and I see that, I'm not. Can you imagine one of our sponsors, because we have so many great sponsors, and we encourage you to shop with them when you can because they share your values. Can you imagine one of them seeing one of their employees in a situation like that? They would be appalled. They would, what are you doing? I thought I hired a person with some sort of sense of good and bad and normal and abnormal. They would lose their minds. And I understand why. If I owned a small business and I saw somebody do that too, I would call them in like, this is unacceptable always.
We have this disconnect in society. Everyone, and when I say everyone, it's because you do have an element of social media. People are interested in living out loud. And people are interested in having their voice heard or having what they're doing seen. And what I think there's a failure to understand, and you and I and Jure, we know it well because we've spent so much time in this business where what I'm saying is connected to who I'm involved with. Mm-hmm. If I said something wildly crazy, you could call one of the advertisers and say, did you hear what he said? Yeah. Now, most of them are going to laugh in your face. They're going to be like, yeah, there's nothing inflammatory about that, or no big deal. But for the everyday person who's never had to have that sort of representation, they don't understand the care you have to take with that responsibility.
That's right.
I firmly believe that.
And I would imagine young men and women, especially with this NIL being so new in college sports, like they have to have a personal responsibility. In
They're learning it.
Absolutely they are. Now, I'm not saying, and I don't mean, because I'm not pointing out any crazy stories.
But you're representative of this.
That's right. And so with that, there comes a responsibility, and they're learning that, which is a good thing.
And so when you take a look at that 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old who's twisting off, going crazy, and it's out on social media, it's now the video, it's the woman who's mocking Charlie Kirk being shot. And what happens? Well, she gets fired from her teaching job in Chicago because everyone said you couldn't manage to control yourself for just this one time.
We asked kindergartners to control themselves.
And you can't do it?
And you can't do it?
Well, you got to go.
Yeah, can't be around here. Morning Extra at Extra 106.3. Tug and Los until 10. Glad that you're here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Yes, even CNBC knows the Democrats own the government shutdown. Next on Extra.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
The federal EV tax credit may have expired, but the fine folks at Jim Ellis Chevrolet aren't letting that stop you from getting big savings on a new electric vehicle right now.
Jim Ellis Chevrolet is offering up to $6,000 in lease savings on select new Chevy Blazer EV, Equinox EV, and Silverado EV models.
Why? Because Jim Ellis Chevrolet knows value matters. That's why they're stepping up with exclusive offers to keep you moving forward. With electric vehicles that are made smart, capable, and affordable.
But here's the catch. This offer is only good through October, and it's only available on a limited number of EVs. When they're gone, so don't wait.
Find your new EV at JimEllisChevrolet.com or stop by Jim Ellis Chevy on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter.
Jim Ellis Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Up to $6,000 in lease savings applies to in-stock Blazer EV, Equinox EV, and Silverado EV models. Limited quantities available. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Offer expires October 31st, 2025.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all three are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement, and your future. Hi, this is Glenn Beck. The only financial advisory firm I recommend in Atlanta is Nicholas Wealth Management. David Nicholas and his team believe protecting your money is about more than wealth. It's about defending your faith, your family, and your freedom. If your hard-earned retirement is left exposed to market chaos, higher taxes, or inflation, what happens to the life you've worked so hard to build? For over 20 years, David Nicholas has helped families right here in Atlanta fight back with retirement strategies built to better withstand uncertainty. Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 404-890-5606, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Aim to safeguard your future today.
Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm that uses a variety of different investment strategies.
Cold weather will be here before you know it. At the same time, power outages are on the rise. So here's an important question. If the power goes out when it's really cold, do you have a way to stay warm? If not, you've got to check out the Avesta off-grid space heater from My Patriot Supply. It's a compact, portable space heater that doesn't use electricity. It runs on something called canned heat, which is an indoor safe fuel. It's completely off-grid, and it can heat up a 200 square foot room in a matter of minutes. With Avesta stashed in your closet, you can rest easy, knowing you and your family will stay warm, even if the power goes out. Plus, it doubles as a stove to boil water or cook food without electricity or propane. The best part is, you can get Avesta and a bunch of other free gifts when you order the Winter Prep Special from My Patriot Supply. Just go to mypatriotsupply.com to see everything included. This offer won't last long, and neither will this nice fall weather, so go to mypatriotsupply.com today. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
Picture this. You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay, because whatever it is, it's on eBay, and it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
The Morning Extra, every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3.
They've become very close friends. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump says about Japan's new prime minister, bringing her on stage with them while addressing American troops on a U.S. aircraft carrier stationed in Japan.
The cherished alliance between the United States and Japan is one of the most remarkable relationships in the entire world.
Japan's first female prime minister, Sanae Takaishi, who just came into office a week ago, does not have a long-standing relationship with President Trump, and she was navigating this deal that was arranged by her predecessor to spend $550 billion in the U.S. That is about a tenth of Japan's economy, all that on projects chosen by Washington in order to avert tariffs that were higher than 15%.
That's Fox's Jackie Heinrich in Tokyo, where the president is now meeting with business leaders.
The two leaders signed a framework agreement pledging to ramp up mining and processing of rare earth minerals to jointly strengthen supply chains, with China controlling the vast majority of the world's supply.
Now, the president will meet with China's leader on the next stop at the Trump Asia trip in South Korea. Hurricane Melissa will batter Jamaica this morning, a Category 5, the strongest ever to hit the island with 175-mile-an-hour winds.
2 to 3 feet of precipitation, and some areas at the higher altitudes, maybe even 4 feet of rain, will create mudslides, rock slides, degradation of roads, and power outages will be widespread.
That's Fox Weather's Robert Ray in Kingston. Big job cuts coming at Amazon. The company told workers in an email 14,000 jobs will be lost. At baseball's World Series, Game 3 lasted as long as 2 games.
Thurman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch strikes me.
Freddie Freeman's walk-off home run in the bottom of the 18th inning won it for the defending champion Dodgers, beating the Blue Jays 6-5 on Fox, giving LA a 2-1 series lead over Toronto. And after playing for 6 hours, 39 minutes, they'll play again tonight. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Align your business with other like-minded conservatives by advertising on Extra 106.3. Email sales at xtra1063.com.
On fire! If I'm worried, to be honest, I'm worried about front office Los right now. You don't realize what's happening because you haven't been in here and you've been listening to this Fox News update. But what Los was doing, he was eating this meal that he brought in for
very spicy pad thai.
Yeah, and and as he ate it, it's like I could just see, I could feel the tension in the room growing. And he didn't say anything at first. Then all of a sudden, it was like, oh God, I can't feel my face.
I feel like I'm going to start sweating a little bit. I told you, my mouth's on fire right now.
Right. I like spicy food, but I don't want anything to set my face on fire. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to hurt.
There's a tiny little bit in there.
I'm all set. No, I'm good. I'm all set. Thank you. I was just describing.
Chicken ass.
Yeah, that's right. I don't want the food to hurt me.
I like it when it bites you back a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but when you can't feel your face.
Durée, like a little bit of heat.
Whenever I go to a new sports bar or something like that, I try their wings for the first time. I get a normal order, and then I'm like, let me just get one or two.
Heat it up a little bit.
Now, give me everything you got.
Yeah.
I want to see if there's somebody in the kitchen that's a stunt cook back there.
Why?
the only
just because I need to know.
No, who cares?
I remember the one that actually in a store when I used to eat more of the stuff that made me sweat was over at Taco Mac, and it was their 3 Mile Island. Now, that was right below like their hottest. And I remember thinking, I won't try their hottest, but I'll try kind of like the next one down. And honestly, I could feel the sweat behind my ears, like when you're hitting your head.
Your ears start ringing a little bit.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of a buzz.
Any part of this is crazy.
That is a real thing. You get a little bit of a buzz.
Yes.
When you get something spicy enough. Shout out to The Wing, which is right over here on the 120 Loop. They've got a flavor. It's off the menu. It's called Coolio's Zamunda Fire.
What? How you remember that's impressive.
You would remember it too, buddy. This stuff is not playing around.
No, I wouldn't.
It's like
I wouldn't try it.
It's like a puree almost of ghost pepper chili, just like a paste slathered on there.
Boys, no.
I love that they call it Coolio Zamunda Fire.
Yeah.
It's kind of a head fake.
Coolio is one of the chefs in the back. He's one of the cooks back there that whipped
so
up
it's
this.
named after him.
Oh yeah,
I got you.
Okay,
don't mess with Coolio.
You didn't give them their ding, man. You did a shout out.
Well, shout out to Coolio.
I mean, come on.
Not the one you know.
Yeah,
but the one who makes a Zamunda Fire.
1, 2, 3, 4. Get your booty on the floor.
That one's
get up.
Coolio's not with us anymore.
I know. I always loved Coolio. He was cool, man. He was good. I don't get the whole.
He did Hot Ones, and then he passed away shortly thereafter.
See, that's what I'm saying. Hot wings, like this food being too spicy, took Coolio from us. Don't be the next Coolio. Don't pass away.
I wasn't sure if it was that or he was going to reveal some pedophilia ring in Hollywood.
Oh, God. Well, look.
One or the other. Hot Wings are revealing the pedophilia ring.
One of them got him.
Temperature dropping. It's time for some really hot wings.
No,
it's true.
No.
Yeah, when that's different. Like in the summer.
Ideas. Why make it painful to eat?
But like a spicy chili when it's cold.
Like a little bit of spice. I don't want it
definitely
to
chili season.
It is definitely that. What is it outside? Good.
It was
like
50
degrees outside.
48, 50 this morning.
This is horrible weather. I despise and detest this weather.
I would wager I could win a chili cook-off contest in this building.
Like
not even just this floor, this building.
Well, you're talking about
that's
to make
braggadocio. I like that.
I mean,
I'm proud of my chili.
Okay, all right. Now, is it so hot you can't eat it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, see, then yeah.
Does it just got a little,
for the people.
Little bit of a bite to it, though?
Don't we typically, doesn't Mike Key, our promotions director, doesn't he coordinate some sort of chili cook-off?
We have in years past.
Yeah. And then he did the bull peanut cook-off, too.
That one I'm like, yeah.
Dude, I love bull peanuts, but I grew up on bull peanuts, so
I'm just not
had some on Sunday.
Did you? God bless you.
What was her name? Missy, right outside my neighborhood, setting up there on Old Highway 5.
There you go. See, we would get them
for $9.
We would drive over to LJ from Dalton, go through Chatsworth and over into northeast Georgia, and we'd always stop on the way because there'd always be somebody on the mountain roads out there cooking boiled peanuts, and so we'd always get them. My daddy didn't like them. Me and my mama did. You know,
she was sitting there with her, and she is not shy about her Trump stickers and her Trump flag hanging off of her car, sitting there listening to the Falcons get whooped by Miami.
Oh, yeah.
But she was a really nice lady.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you would stop at a road sign where it just said like D's nuts and you would buy
yeah. That's right. Yep.
Because there used to be a guy in Alpharetta, like right on the edge of Cumming, Forsyth County. He had a big red sign because he did boiled peanuts, and it actually was spelled as DEEZ nuts.
That got some attention.
Yeah, it sure did. It sure did. We're like, yeah, we got to stop for those.
Yeah, seriously, I'll have some of these nuts. Thank you, sir. How much do I owe you? Oh my gosh, it's great. If there are good places to get boiled peanuts that you want to share with us, make sure you. What was your lady, Missy?
Yes, Missy.
And
Old Highway 5.
There you go. There's the first one if you want to find out more. And is D's Nut still going? Do you still see him?
Oh, I haven't seen that in
no, it's been a while.
Good 15 years now,
okay,
10, 15 years.
So maybe he's moved on like
it was maybe he tried to expose the pedophilia ring.
Or ate some really hot
or he had some really hot wings.
Yeah,
he didn't make it.
One of the two happened.
This is the moment where I really wish I had that drop of Adam Gillespie, the road dog. I don't think that he survived the pandemic.
That's right.
That one line of that man that he said
from down the hall
became our catch-all for everything. Like, hey, did you hear so-and-so is no longer working over at Channel 5? I don't think that he survived the pandemic. Hey, did you hear so-and-so had to move from his neighborhood? I don't think that he survived the pandemic.
The only thing that's as good, though, guy I work out with, John, he, other day, there was a lady that was also working out in the gym, and she was talking about something that had happened and somebody had passed on, and they didn't know them well or something, and he was like, car crash? Yes. Yes. That's exactly right. I almost fell off of the crunch ball. I was over there doing crunches. I almost fell off of that thing.
Car accident?
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yes. Because he listens to the show. And
you just have to ask the question sometimes.
And then he got the biggest laugh. He made himself laugh, and I was over there laughing. It was great.
Telling you. We're going to have to work it in on Neil.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll do that because he's coming up here in about 15 minutes on Xtra 106.3. First, even CNBC, Los. Even CNBC is going, hey, guys, it's yours. This belongs to you. This shutdown's yours.
Hey, I credit CNBC for asking this question of Hakeem Jeffries because it's been largely, for the first few weeks, softball, softball, softball. Now you're starting to get that little bit of an edge. And I talked about it when we were 2 weeks in, how the news media has been trying to tell the Democrats, I know you're raising money. I know you think this improves your polling. This is a loser. The media has been signaling to the Democrats, you all need to stop. And so I want you to take a listen as Hakeem Jeffries is on CNBC, and the direct question is asked to him that often is not.
It said what you are asking the Republicans to do right now when they control the White House, the Senate, and the House is effectively what the Democrats could not do when they controlled all three of those heads of government themselves. The 10-year setup for this, for these, or the 3-year setup for the expiration of these credits was intentionally put in. It was put in when you controlled the White House, and the Senate. You couldn't get it passed for longer. And so this is a setup that kind of your own creation that you all couldn't extend beyond that. Now you want the Republicans to do something you didn't do when you were in power?
It's not a setup beyond what we could do. We extended the Affordable Care Act tax credits in 2022 for 3 years. The program is working. It's providing health care to tens of millions of people in an affordable way, and it should be continued. It's interesting to us that Republicans decided that they would prefer to permanently extend massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors in their one big ugly bill.
Let me get this straight. So extending tax breaks to Hakeem Jeffries is the same as taking money out of my pocket in order to make sure Obamacare doesn't fall apart.
And he used the word affordable twice. And I just wrote it down with 3 question marks. Affordable. If it was affordable, why would you need these tax credits?
Why do we need to keep pumping more money into a system that keeps getting more expensive and is going to have 10 million people are going to lose their health care. Well, 10 million people should have paid for it.
Dude, I went to the doctor recently, and I'd heard people saying this, and I saw it on social media a bunch of times, so I thought I'd try it out too. Went to the doctor, small procedure, nothing major. And I said, as I'm checking in, they had this little corral. You went in and you signed all the paperwork and said, yep, and you paid for your thing, whatever. And I said, when they gave me the total, the price, to have me sign off and hand them my credit card, I was like, what would it be without my insurance? And they said, funny you ask. We get that a lot.
Starting to happen.
And she was like, let me print it out for you. And we laid them side by side. And she said, in this particular situation, it's, here's the amount with your insurance. We actually give a 75% discount if you don't use insurance.
Because you don't have to go through the process and then get paid from them.
So
yes.
It turned out this particular procedure was about the same because you had to pay the tech who actually did the procedure, that used the equipment, whatever. And that bumped it up a little bit, and it was still like $2 or $3 cheaper to not use your insurance. It wasn't a grand amount, but she told me 50% of the time, if you'll ask, 50% of the time, it's cheaper for you to not use your insurance. Nothing's affordable about the Affordable Care Act, or it wouldn't happen that way.
It created such a bureaucratic mess that you now have these, and part of this too, not only does it create the bureaucratic mess as far as how doctors get paid, but remember, during COVID, you were in a scenario where you could be kicked out of your plan, of your system, where if you started practicing medicine and you didn't go against exactly what the government was telling you, well, they could kick you out of your hospital program, and suddenly that agreement you had with the government to pay back your student loans, they wouldn't do it. So they were the ones who were directing what kind of health care you were going to get, how much, and what it was going to cost you, which is pretty much what we told you was going to happen 15 years ago.
Yeah, everybody knew it. Anytime you put government in the middle of anything, it is going to cause it to cost more. It's a fact. You cannot argue that. I've never seen government get involved with anything that made it more cheap or more reasonable without some sort of subsidies, without some sort of tax break. It's not cheaper. It's never going to be.
But that was the entertaining part about CNBC asking Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, sure.
Like, wait a minute, you had all the time to fix this.
You couldn't fix it? Now you're mad at them?
And now you're mad at them because they won't give you the money to fix the problem you created.
And from the beginning, you knew this was coming. You knew this was an issue. It was known from day one that there's another thing we discussed. Obviously, it was never meant to work. They knew it wasn't going to work. That was the plan from the beginning, to not have it work. That way we could get to
it was supposed to
a
fall
socialized medicine, a single payer like socialist countries.
It was
have.
constructed in a way where you had the federal government basically seize 1/5 of the economy. Now, the problem is healthcare, because it's becoming more expensive, it's growing the pie. Government will be in charge of 1/4 of that portion of the economy.
Horrible idea.
And they don't do it well. We have one of the, when it comes to our technology, we're really good with our medical care. The problem is that we're now turning into one of those countries where, well, how fast can I get it? What red tape do I have to go through in order to get it? Like, granted, there are delays in other socialized medicine countries. We don't deal with the extremes of, I got a problem. All right, we'll see you next year. What do you mean next year? No, listen, I've got a kidney problem right now. We'll see in 2 years.
Yeah.
We don't deal with that.
But we will.
But
at some point
we
will.
are going in the direction where this is going to start being rationed out, your health care. That's the nature of government involved in health care.
Democrat Representative Yasmin Ansari says she and the Democrats are willing to negotiate with the Republicans to reopen the government as long as they give them money for the illegals and their health care.
As millions of Americans are going to see health insurance premiums skyrocket. I mean, this is, to me, so outrageous. And when you have a trifecta, the presidency, the Senate, and the House, and you cannot keep the government open, you cannot negotiate, you refuse to negotiate, you refuse to come to work, that is a complete abdication of responsibility. So this falls squarely on Republicans. If they want to reopen the government, they can negotiate, they can talk to Democrats, they can come to work, and they can do that. Like, people are willing. We've been at work every single day.
This is a non-starter. There's nothing to negotiate. I don't want to add more illegals being taken care of, being funded with taxpayer dollars. There's nothing to negotiate with and nothing to negotiate about. I'm not willing to do it, and neither are the Republicans. And then she talked about the trifecta. Well, they got the trifecta. That's exactly why CNBC asked Hakeem Jeffries the same question. Y'all had the trifecta, didn't do it. Now she's trying to flip it over and be like, well, they have it all. So did you, sister. So did you.
So did you, sister. And yet, nothing.
Nothing.
I do enjoy that even Donald Trump in the last 48 hours has laid out the argument and just said, obviously on this trip over to Asia, we're not going. This is a non-starter. It's like, if you want to reopen the government and then we negotiate, okay. But we're not negotiating from a place of we're in a shutdown. It's not happening.
And it shouldn't.
No, because no one, in terms of like the working people who are backing this president and backing this administration, they all recognize the game that's being played. I don't want to pay for people that are not supposed to be here. Do I want to pay for my neighbor who maybe has fallen on some tough times or has some sort of issues and has to go into government health care? All right, we can discuss it.
But that's a hand up, right? That's not permanent. No. You don't expect that your neighbor's never going back to work.
No. Whereas I'm watching the former administration import people that can't be part of this economy and never intended them to be, and are like, how are we going to pay for them? What do you mean, we?
Yeah. Huh. Oh, my gosh, what a mess. And we're going to get to those numbers. The millions and millions and millions that are getting a handout. Not a hand up, not help, but an absolute handout. And it's not ending anytime soon. We'll get to that later in the show because the talk master, Neil Bortz, the one and only legendary voice. It's always our honor to speak with him every day. I'm just glad that he's willing to talk to us, even though he's in retirement, even though he's enjoying life like nobody else in the world, traveling, he and the Queen. He takes time to join you and talk to you. I think it's more about talking to you than it is us. We're just the conduit, and we're lucky enough to talk to Neil every Tuesday here on Extra 106.3.
Get connected to Extra 106.3 on all your favorite apps. Then download ours and stream the station across Georgia. We're live online at extra1063.com. Stream live video from the studios on YouTube. And of course, Kimmer, Bortz, and your favorite Extra shows in crystal clear digital on the Extra 106.3 app.
Big moments deserve big-time craftsmanship. At Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we've been family-owned and operated since 1982 because we know what it means to show up when it counts. Jaron Solomon here, and that's why we're proud to be an official Tacori jeweler. Each Tacori ring is handcrafted in California, going through 20 elite artisans before it hits your hands. Not mass-produced, not generic, always personal. And with Solomon Brothers, you get lifetime cleanings, unbeatable financing, and the largest Tacori selection in Georgia. Stop by a store in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg. Visit SolomonBrothers.com to book your private appointment. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, where love is in the details and legends are built to last. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs and official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork. Come on. You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
This is Kelly Kroll asking you to step up to the plate for the men and women who have served our country and protected our freedom. The Warrior Alliance, an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, is helping thousands of veterans to achieve success after military service. Either you or someone you know has served and deserves our support. The best way to say thank you for your service is by helping a veteran round the bases on their journey home. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
It's October 28th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today's Animation Day. Go ahead, watch your favorite cartoon established in 2002 to celebrate the rising art of animation. On this day in 1886, the Statue of Liberty is dedicated by U.S. President Grover Cleveland and followed by the first ticker tape parade in New York City. A one-day increase of global COVID-19 cases of more than 500,000 for the first time, rising 25% in under 2 weeks, according to Reuters in 2020. Hurricane Zeta makes landfall in 2020 in the U.S. near Cocoudry, Louisiana, as a Category 2 storm. And way back in 1893, the famed Russian conductor Peter Tchaikovsky conducts the first performance of his Symphony No. 6 in B minor. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Securing America. It's a weapon we constantly hear about, most recently because of the Russia-Ukraine war. Tomahawks, one of America's most precision strike missiles, and President Trump is considering sending some to Ukraine to help. But what is it exactly? They have a range of 1,000 miles, fly as low as 100 feet, making them hard to detect by radar. It's 20 feet long and just 21 inches wide, essentially a pole with little wings equipped with a turbo fan engine and sophisticated guidance. And when multiple are fired at the same time, they can take separate routes at 500 miles per hour and then meet up and hit a target in a coordinated strike. Today's models can loiter over a target for hours, take optical scans, and wait for other missiles to arrive before detonating. They can disperse cluster munitions over a wide pattern to hit airfields or carry a unitary warhead for harder targets. Tom Graham, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, October 28th. A study from Texas A&M reveals that a new day of the week is now Metro Atlanta's worst for traffic congestion. The research found that while Fridays still have the highest total traffic volume, the longest delays and slowest average speeds happen on Thursdays. Experts attribute the pattern to hybrid work schedules. Many office-based workers commit to in-person days midweek, pushing more commuters onto the roads within a shorter period of time. A new online training program set to launch in 2026 aims to attract and train youth sports officials for local leagues in Georgia. The course is fully digital and designed for citizens to complete training and start officiating in community youth sports, helping address the growing shortage of game officials. The program is backed by funding from the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, the Atlanta Braves Foundation, and the NFL Foundation in partnership with the Georgia Recreation and Park Association. And former Georgia Governor and U.S. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue has been inducted into the National Agriculture Hall of Fame in Kansas City. Officials say Perdue will join past agriculture pioneers like Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson in the Hall's collection. He's the third Georgian inducted. Today's weather cloudy and chilly with some scattered showers. We have a high of 55. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Neil Bortz is the talkmaster, legendary voice of Atlanta radio, takes time out of retirement to come speak to you here on the Morning Extra. Neil, what's up, man?
Well, not a lot. Donna all of a sudden popped on me yesterday. Hey, there's a cruise leaving Fort Lauderdale on Saturday. Can we go?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That is retirement.
Yes. What's the answer? Was the answer yes?
No.
Oh, you broke the Queen's heart?
No. We talked about it, and because the week after the cruise, we're booked into a nice motor coach resort in Key West. Well, we got to spend some time here. I got to do the laundry.
Well, they have laundry on.
Yeah, just get on the ship.
They got little bags.
I mean, Tug and I, we're planning on going on tour. We can borrow the bus for you.
Yeah, we can take the bus.
Which one of you couldn't handle that bus for 15 minutes?
Well, we already talked about it. We're going to find an illegal with a CDL, and they'll take care of it for us.
It's not the driving.
Well, what is it?
It is a highly complex. Tell me what you know about inverters.
I know everything about inverters.
Yeah.
Apparently that didn't work out well.
Los is an inverter expert.
Yeah.
You didn't know?
Yeah, you do. And all about air brakes. Tell me how to test an air brake before you hit the road to see if it's going to lock down when the air pressure goes down.
Oh, I remember this one from CDO class. I know you got to touch it.
No, well, see, my mama was a school bus driver. After she retired, she decided she was going to drive a school bus, and they have air brakes too. And she actually told me about this, and now I feel like an idiot because I can't remember. Tell me the answer.
Well, I mean, you turn the engine off and you excuse me, leave the ignition on, start pumping the brake.
Yeah, and you have
until
to do
until the air pressure drops, and when the air pressure drops, if the emergency brake doesn't come on automatically, then you don't go drive.
That's right. You have to do it on a flat surface, Tug.
See?
Well, yeah, because you're going to roll.
That's right.
See, Mama would have done. See, we can get Mama.
There's seven steps to this, Tug. I can't believe you don't know about this.
Well, Mama was teaching me.
Let me tell you, the toughest thing to learn. It's kind of like looking for the hover button on a helicopter. You know what a hover button is?
I must say.
Yes, of course.
Well, no, that's when you're driving or you're learning to fly a helicopter, and you're trying to hover it.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Well, it's a tough thing to do. Sooner or later, you've got it mastered. That means you found the hover button.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Got it.
Now, the hover button on some coaches, you have to remember that the tires that steer you are behind you.
Right, you're sitting over top, no,
you're not over top. You're in front of them.
In front. Okay, yeah.
Now imagine driving your car like that.
Yeah, it'd be tough because you'd probably run into things.
But I tell you what, I'd rather drive that bus than my car anytime.
Well, maybe we could just hire you to drive us on our tour.
That'd be awesome.
You can't afford me.
Yeah, it's true.
But I thought.
No, what if we don't talk any politics?
Yeah, at all.
Big discount.
I'm trying to think out what is the biggest news right now.
Well,
I mean, we got a whole
government shutdown
gang of stuff.
I think it's the Government Workers Union telling Democrats to knock it the hell off.
It's funny that you brought that up. We talked about that to open up the show. How once the government unions turn on you, I think you've kind of lost the fight here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's no discussion needed. That's all we need.
What are the Democrats going to do now? The largest federal workers union that supports them to the 90% level in all federal elections is tell them, knock it off. Go back to open the government now with no concessions. No concessions. So I'm sure that there's a lot of top-level meetings among idiot Democrats.
A.K.A. communists.
Now, what do we do now? Oh, my God. With our captured government worker. That's why this is the first time I was ever actually glad that government workers can unionize, because I really don't think they should be allowed to unionize under any circumstances.
Same here.
And that includes teachers' unions. Oh, my God.
I agree. If you want to talk about your private union that you are negotiating with ownership, all right, I can live with that. But when you're negotiating essentially against me as a government employee, you're against the taxpayer, I'm with you. Now, I bring this up, Neil. I've found it very interesting that you had a scenario where the Democrats have had now, it's 28 days going into week 5, where they've been able to fundraise and they've been able to at least help a little bit of their polling numbers out that, look, we fought Trump for you. I think now's the time to probably, tail between the legs and say this needs to be over with.
We have to listen to our government workers, but we're not going to give up this. They're not smart. The other good news today is that Kamala Harris might actually be serious about running for president again.
Fingers crossed.
Please. Oh, that would be so wonderful.
I would just love to see her trying to get through a primary again. Someone who couldn't even draw 1% the last time she seriously did this.
Well, 1%, did she get a vote?
Well, yeah, exactly. She didn't even get to the first round of voting when she actually ran.
Yeah. She's never had a vote for her in a federal election anywhere.
We played this crazy communist yesterday, and a young woman just went and asked him about what he was protesting, and he had no idea really, and his sign made no sense, and he couldn't answer any questions about what was written on his sign and all that. And then she asked him about Kamala. And then he got so triggered, so angry, so mad that he ended the interview and said, "You don't want to talk to me about this." because he had nothing to say. Because she was like, you realize that she was anointed. She was never, ever in a position where she won that primary. She was
nothing
anointed.
to do with the Democrat process.
That's right.
Yeah, and then there was another interview they had yesterday with a guy that looked like Chewbacca. Come on.
Look him up.
That Harry?
Yeah, that Harry. and he was carrying a sign about, prosecute Trump for his crimes and all that.
That Harry.
And the interviewer said, well, tell me what crime Donald Trump has committed. Well, I don't know. I'm just here to support my community.
Yeah.
I'm just carrying this sign to support my community. What community is that? The Sasquatch Party?
That's right. It's the Chewbacca Foundation.
Then the food stamps.
Oh, dude. Yeah, the whole SNAP thing, we're going to get to that a little later in the show, but we'll talk about it with you now. 40 million people are on dedicated food stamps, dedicated handouts from the government. I'm okay with a hand up. Los brought it up earlier, Neil. If somebody, his neighbor runs into a hard time, a hand up is okay to help him for a little while.
Sure.
But to just permanently be on government assistance, and then there's a requirement. It's federal law. It's a requirement when people come to this country that they are vetted to the point where they can take care of themselves as to not be a burden on the American taxpayer. And obviously that didn't happen because they didn't vet anyone. Now it's 40 million people.
And listen, I have some things that ought to happen if and when they start funding food stamps again. First of all, perhaps food stamp recipients should only be able to shop at Aldi.
Oh, okay.
And not Whole Foods.
Okay, yeah.
Where you have to bring your own damn paper bags.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And check out your shopping cart. Your budget.
Yeah. And also, food stamp recipients, there should be dedicated lanes in supermarkets for food stamps. If the taxpayers are going to pay for your food, then they ought to be able to stand there in Publix or Kroger or wherever and watch you go through the food stamp lane and then require you to say thank you to the taxpayer lanes before you can exit the grocery store.
I got a problem with any of
that. I think it'd be wonderful. And surplus foods, where surplus foods are available, they have to buy those. And if not surplus, then store brands. You don't go into the store and buy steak. You buy.
Dude, we buy store brands anyway.
I'll tell you, my dad still tells the story early on when he was married to my mom, when he had a softball team and he gave my mom like $20 and was like, hey, can you go pick us up some beer? She showed up at that softball game with a pack of something that just were white cans and in black lettering said beer.
Love that.
That's what you get. You don't get any of the name brand stuff.
Well, of course, they shouldn't be allowed to buy beer at all.
Well, I'm just saying.
But for the example.
The example is you're buying the store brand. That's all you're doing.
So, and other good news, it still looks like the communists might be elected mayor of New York.
Oh, that's happening. There's no doubt.
You think it's definite?
It's a done deal.
That's going to be so much fun.
It's not, Neil. It's not.
But when you look at the numbers, the amount of people that are backing him, the difference and it's very gangs of New York. The amount of foreigners that are now in New York that are voting on his side versus native citizens that are not voting for him. It's a demonstration of what happens in a city where you didn't ask anybody to assimilate. You said, come on in and bring your culture with you.
Well, it's like that Statue of Liberty. We're not going to change the plaque on the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, we are. We're going to just put up there, enough is enough.
That's
at
right.
the base of this. But what better place to demonstrate the futility of socialism and the futility of tax the rich and government-operated grocery stores? What better way to demonstrate that vividly to the American people, those with the IQ high enough to understand it? What better place than New York City? Will it damage this? Yeah. So the hell what? Will businesses move out of New York? Yeah, there's plenty of places for them to go. Nashville, Charlotte, Atlanta, if they have bulletproof vests. But there's all sorts of places. So they don't have to be in New York. My God, the world's busiest airport is in Atlanta. They have more access internationally in Atlanta than they do in New York City. So I really look forward to New Yorkers getting a big-time lesson in the government's ability to run those functions that are generally left up to the private sector.
I gave this example to Tug. I said everybody has had that neighbor where they're so wheels off, they're drunk at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they're passed out on their grass at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, their life is in shambles.
Dave, you okay?
Dave! And it's an example of, man, this is why I keep showing up to work and I keep trying to pay attention, do the right things. New York is going to be that example for the rest of the country as to what you shouldn't do.
And we need it. We need that example right now.
God, I hope you're all right. It seems very rose-colored glasses to me because this is just the first step in the communist takeover, the Islamatization.
How do you make some eggs?
Yeah.
How do you make some omelets? You got to break some eggs on this thing.
I know, and I want y'all to be right. In my soul, it doesn't feel right.
And as an added bonus, that the hideous governor they have in New York, with her support of the communist, as New York begins to disintegrate, her chances of being reelected governor of New York go down the tubes as well, hopefully.
We'll see.
By the way, which one of you eats boiled peanuts?
Me.
God almighty, what the hell is wrong with you?
I just was raised on them, Neil.
I eat shrimp. So he doesn't like either one of us.
Well, you know what shrimp eats, so that's on you.
Yes, I know.
I like shrimp too, though, so I'm double gross.
We have a restaurant down here that they have. I love corn chowder. So, but for some reason, this restaurant insists on dumping shrimp into their corn chowder.
Oh,
how awesome.
Sounds fantastic.
How wonderful.
Sounds like a good day.
If they drop a couple boiled peanuts, and that's over at that point.
That's right. You don't like boiled peanuts? Why don't you like boiled peanuts?
It's like reaching your hand into a bucket of eyeballs.
I agree. I don't care for them either.
No, it's not at all. It's
and I love peanuts, but
yeah, me too. Gosh.
Oh, every time I go to the ballpark, you can guarantee there's just going to be just a mess of broken peanuts in front of me.
I could eat peanuts, and I know they're high in calories or whatever. That's what they tell me anyway.
Well,
but
yeah, the sodium's outrageous on those.
Let me tell you, man, I wear them out.
And these kids with their allergies, the hell with them. I want peanuts on airplanes too.
It is true. We did lose peanuts. What, probably about 15 years ago?
Yeah. My son was allergic. Yeah, anaphylactic, man. It was scary.
My daughter penicillin.
Yeah. We grew up with a whole bunch of food allergies. I had a new respect for kids with food allergies because I almost lost mine feeding him the wrong thing. And good thing we were near the hospital because the doctor said to my wife, if you hadn't have gotten him Benadryl, he wouldn't have made it.
Oh, wow.
Dude, it was scary.
Oh, how many do you have in your car? How many of you have fentanyl? I'm not fentanyl.
Hopefully none.
How did you know?
Narcan. How many of you have Narcan in your car?
No, I know. That is one of the... right now, I actually have a snake bite treatment kit, but I don't have Narcan. And to know that police have to keep it on them, and I think if I was working in the city, I would regularly have it on me.
We have Narcan in each car.
Yeah.
How many of you have a AED at home?
Defibrillator, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, we don't. We don't have one now. Maybe as we get, maybe as we get a little older. But
so you never have anybody over?
Well, no, we do, but
anybody over?
Rarely. To be honest, it's quite rare. It's only.
Hold on a second. I mean, do you have 25 years of food storage?
Do I?
Yes.
Oh, I can always go out on the beach and fish.
Well, but I'm just saying, it's like you get ready for different stuff. Like because of the storm I went through, I keep that stuff. Would I like a defibrillator? Yeah, probably at some point. I'd like to keep something like that around, especially if we're ever at the point, Neil, where my parents are getting to the age where they might consider moving closer to us or spending more time. I would definitely consider it.
Well, a couple of years ago, we gave my daughter and her husband for Christmas, we gave them a AED.
But I bet they're opening it up. Oh, wow.
What is this?
No, they were very disappointed.
That's what I'm
Have
saying.
you ever heard the song Kickstart My Heart?
And I can promise you, if I called them up today and I said, by the way, have you ever activated that AED? Well,
no. The answer is no.
Yeah, they haven't.
Don't fib to me.
But I'll tell you what, though, now that I think about it, if I did go down the Neil Bortz route and I had one ready to go, could you imagine what kind of awesome hero I'd be in the cul-de-sac if somebody had some sort of cardiac event
you saved their
and I
life.
ran up there with
Got it? Yes. Dude, you
Neil, this is a good idea. I'm gonna go to Amazon.
Well, I mean,
what do they cost, Neil, right off the top of your head? Do you know?
I think the one I got my daughter, we have 3, one in the Bortz bus, one here at home.
Yeah.
And then the one that we sent to my daughter. I think you're going to spend, $2,500?
No,
Yeah.
Lord, no, we ain't getting
the
one.
cheapest I found so far, $1,600.
Yeah, we're not getting one. They won't be one at our house.
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, it's your parents' life isn't worth $1,600.
No, it's not. I kid somewhat.
Yeah, you think they're listening?
No, Mama ain't up. No, definitely not.
I don't know. And I also cruise the checkout lines at Walmart.
What do you mean?
how so?
That sounds filthy.
I'll tell you about that sometime.
Yeah.
And by the way, one more thing. If Jerry, who's just bored blankless over this conversation so far, give me a second here. You were talking about socialized medicine. I grew up with socialized medicine.
You did?
Oh, I grew up in the military.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And I just got here was an example to me of socialized medicine. My brother was roller skating, broke his arm. So my dad slung him into the car and drove over to the, I don't know why we called it the dispensary, but the base clinic.
Yeah, the clinic, yeah.
And they sat and they waited and they sat and they waited. Now my dad, the Marine, 6 feet 7 inches tall, 250 pounds. Okay? Finally, he got tired of waiting. So he stood up and marched into the back of that clinic and found the doctor with his foot up on his desk reading a book. He slapped the book out of the doctor's hand and told him to get the hell out there and take care of my son. That's why he never made colonel.
That's a good reason. But he experienced it, you experienced it, and I know I did too in the Navy. It was rough.
Neil, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with the Tenzing Hillary Airport?
I think so. Tibet?
Yes.
Wow, Neil, good pull.
I've landed there 30 times.
Have you really?
It's a simulator.
I landed
the simulator got it.
I landed in Leadville.
Leadville.
It's not as impressive as Tenzing Hillary.
No, definitely not. Leadville sounds like it's something you get a disease
Well, that's
from.
the highest airport. That's the highest airport, I think.
That's awesome.
West of the Continental Divide.
There you go. Neil Bortz, the talk master, just bragging now. Just bragging about flying his airplane around.
It was a humble brag.
And one that we love. Thank you, Neil, for taking time with us.
Okay, can I go now?
Yes, go back to bed. Go back.
No, I'm going to go read.
No, or go read.
Wait for Donna to get up.
Oh, see, there you go. Talkmaster, Neil Bortz on
Y'all be
Extra
good.
1063. Trump in 2028, but not as president? Wait, what?
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, October 28th. The LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays took more than 6 hours to determine just who was going to lead the World Series. The Dodgers won 6-5 in 18 innings. Former Atlanta Brave Freddie Freeman hits a walk-off homer to end it. The Dodgers now lead the World Series 2-1. Game 4 is set for tonight. First pitch is set for 8 o'clock. The Atlanta Hawks are now off to a 1-3 start after losing in Chicago last night to the Bulls, 128-123. The team is back in action Wednesday night in Brooklyn. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
This is something sweet you can do for your family or a family that is in need of brand new siding for their home. Southern Exteriors, their website, southernexteriors.co. When you go there, there is a tab, top left, Christmas Give Back. You sign up, And someone this year is getting a free siding remodel. One deserving family in need. James Hardy Siding, the best siding on the market. You can nominate yourself or someone that you know by sharing their story and explaining why their home deserves that fresh start. You got to have your entries in by Monday, December 1st. And one deserving home will be selected for this special transformation. It's just something that Southern wants to do to give back. Last year, they did a full roof remodel, just completely redid a family's roof. I was able to call them, tell them about it. Tears of joy and appreciation. Got to see the whole process go from just the setup and the solicitation of entries, just like we're doing now, all the way through that roof being replaced. It was incredible for Christmas. Now it could be you. Again, southernexteriors.co, top left, and there's a red button that you'll click on that just says Christmas Give Back. That's where you do it. A full James Hardy Siding remodel for you or someone in need that you know. Whomever you choose, get registered now. Christmas Give Back. southernexteriors.co, southernexteriors.co.
This fall, the gridiron calls, which means you'll be road tripping to games across the South, and you'll need a reliable ride to get you there. And Subaru of Gwinnett has the vehicle for you. But a new car, truck, or SUV from Subaru of Gwinnett is about way more than just getting to the games. It's about getting the family home. It's about getting to work safely, but it's also about getting the most out of every adventure. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, the 2025 Subaru Outback shares your spirit with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Or maybe it's the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. It holds the road with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and it holds everything you need for the tailgate. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and let your adventurous mind run wild. Then stop in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
Have you tuned in to the New Jersey gubernatorial race? It's gotten ugly. Recently, Democratic candidate Mikey Sherrill and Republican candidate Jack Ciattarelli have each made charges about the other's integrity, and that's hurt both of them. Our Fox News survey of New Jersey voters shows Ciattarelli's honest and trustworthy ratings have shifted from being net positive by 4 points in September to net negative by 2 points now. Sherrill's ratings remain positive overall, but she's lost even more ground. Voters see her as honest and trustworthy by a 5-point margin, but that's down from plus 16 last month. And on their personal ratings, Ciattarelli's unfavorable has gone up 3 points since September. Sherrill's unfavorable rating is up 7. All that has helped Ciattarelli gain 3 points in the horse race, reducing Sherrill's advantage to 5 points within the poll's margin of sampling error. I'm Dana Blanton. That's your Poll Paris.
This is House Call for Health. Halloween is right around the corner now, and for many, it's a fun time filled with trick-or-treating, costumes, apple bobbing, and more. But steps should be taken to make sure treats are safe for kids. The Food and Drug Administration has a few tips. They say children should not be snacking on what they get while they're still out trick-or-treating. Instead, they recommend having a snack beforehand. That way, they can wait until you get home and inspect their candy and other items before they eat it. Also, be sure to tell your kids not to take any treats that don't look safe, such as anything not commercially wrapped or that appears it's been tampered with. Also, if your child has food allergies, be sure to check all labels before eating and don't let them eat any home-baked goods they might have received. Lastly, if you have small children, be aware of choking hazards, removing anything like gum, peanuts, hard candies, or small toys. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
As the left's agenda continues to fail, the whining will only continue to get louder.
I will not stop today. I will not stop tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Extra 106.3 will continue to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Support our veterans and first responders and be the voice of your community when it matters most. Proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 1063.
We figured out something this morning.
Yeah, buddy, we have figured it all out.
Because MSNBC did give us Cameron Crowe.
Which is kind of cool.
It is cool. In his memoir,
it's called The Uncool. But they're going through this. Some of the movies that he's done over the years. Almost Famous was the one that caught our attention. And we couldn't remember the band that movie was based on. I want to get Jeray's. Do you remember the movie Almost Famous and who that was based on? Because I had it wrong.
Because they had to have the tryout for this. It's not Iron Maiden.
No,
you're thinking of a different movie. That's Rockstar.
Oh, okay.
So the movie, if you remember this movie from years and years ago, it's a young man who is getting to interview a band for Rolling Stone, and it ends up being a cover story. And they make the band fictitious in the movie.
Right.
But it was based on Cameron Crowe the first time when he was young getting to do a Rolling Stone cover story, and it was the Allman Brothers.
Making Georgia's finest.
Okay.
And so it's kind of a fictitious of what he experienced when he was on the road as like a teenager following the Allman Brothers is Almost Famous.
Okay. I'm still stuck on Rockstar. What was that based on a real band where they had to try out for the singer?
I don't know what
stuff?
movie that is. Rockstar. I don't think
Wahlberg in there.
You know what? Now that you say that does kind of ring a bell, but I don't know. I don't.
Yes, Almost Famous, fantastic.
That's when they have Steel Dragon.
Yes,
the band Steel Dragon.
2001 was Rockstar. How about that?
Which is a cool movie.
Is it? I've never.
But
seen
it's not Almost Famous. Almost Famous is just.
Oh,
good.
dude, that's
such a good movie.
So is Singles, which is another one that he did in like '93.
And then Jerry Maguire, they had that, and I was like, oh, okay, I saw it once, twice maybe. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's
not any that I've gone back to see.
It's kind of a sappy love story. It's a sweet movie.
Yeah. There you go.
It's like how you watch The Notebook every other weekend with your wife.
Dude, I love The Notebook. I do.
I know you do.
Dude, I'm such a
I know you do,
cornball.
kitten.
Just that scene when Jerry Maguire is calling all of his clients. Yeah,
it's a great scene.
Yeah.
It's a
there's
great
so
scene.
many great scenes in that movie. But I'm like
then
you,
Rod
dude.
Tidwell gets him on the line, and he can't call anybody else because Rod's making him spend so much time.
That's right. Which is iconic too.
Yeah. And I think Cuba Gooding Jr. got Best Supporting Actor for that role. That's his Oscar, I believe.
He was great in the movie Radio. He was great in what was the Navy movie he did when he was the Navy diver?
Men of Honor.
Men of Honor, which was stellar.
Which still gets me to lock in on it whenever it's on.
Yeah, that's one that I can't turn away. Dude, Cuba Gooding Jr. is, he was great. I don't know if he's been in anything lately. I know he had got off on a dirt road or somehow or another. Got sideways in his personal life, seems like, which has kind of pulled him back from me.
It happens.
I know, yeah, it does. More often than not these days, it seems like. But that would be, we watch MSNBC. I joke all the time, say we watch this crap so you don't have to. This is the first thing that I've been interested. How long have we been keeping this on in the studio?
Oh,
forever.
6 months?
Yeah, as long as I remember, at least. And since the election, I think that's when we started flipping over, right?
Probably
just to see their meltdown. Yeah.
This is like the first time where I ever wanted to say, let's turn the audio
I would
on.
actually
I'd like to hear what Cameron Crowe has to say about his book.
Yeah, no doubt. The Uncool. It is available now, they say.
And yes, by the way, Cuba Gooding Jr., Best Supporting Actor for Rod Tidwell, Jerry Maguire.
So good. But I'm like you, though. It's not one that I just have to go back and see. Everybody knows the lines that are there. But, yeah.
I mean, I can go through his Rolodex. I'm like, there's quite a number of movies where I would say, yeah, I'd be locked in a little bit more on some of these.
I see. Because
I even like his character in As Good as It Gets, which I would sooner watch As Good as It Gets than I would watch Jerry Maguire, because I think Jack Nicholson is so funny and so mean and so brutal. Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't think I have. I was looking to see it here.
He's a writer, and he's also a germaphobe and kind of a hermit, and he's mean to everybody.
That's a good.
He shows up. It's one of the great lines of the movie. He shows up to his publisher, and this woman who's sitting behind the desk, she stops him.
I do remember As Good as It Gets. When I saw the cover, now I do kind of remember it a little bit.
She stops him to ask him, like, she loves his novels. She's like, how do you write so well like a woman? He goes, I write just like a man, and I take away reason and accountability. and she's like broken, like dumbfounded, and he's mean like that through like 90% of the movie.
Yeah.
The rudest, nastiest man on earth.
Of course, which create the greatest characters.
It's a great character.
Yeah, that's why it works that way. Man, oh man.
and Cuba Gooding Jr. plays the art dealer who is basically threatening to like fight him if he keeps being mean to his friend. Like, it's a very funny movie.
I've forgotten that he was in A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that. And Coming to America? He was in Coming to America? The original Coming to America?
He played somewhere up. He plays boy getting haircut.
Ah, got it. So it's just like cameo.
It's not like Boys in the Hood.
No.
Like Boys in the Hood was like the first like, oh, this dude's got some game.
Yeah, this guy's all right. Yeah, holy cow. But Men of Honor, that's the one that I watch. And I think it was last week the person he portrayed in radio passed. The kid that's at the at the high school and everything. All right, then there you go. This is the Morning Extra at Extra 106.3. When we come back, the number of people on a handout is just unbelievable, and exactly how the Dems want it. Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Let me introduce you to Melissa Fabello, PhD. And if you're not already impressed, you need to know that Melissa Fabello specializes and writes about body politics, beauty culture and eating disorders, feminism and social justice, human sexuality studies. She's a Jurassic Park enthusiast, and her pronouns are she, her. She will tell you she is, quote, highly academically educated. Wow, I'm impressed. I want to see what she has to say about things. So let's see. Her latest, Taylor Swift is a racist. Melissa gets this from Taylor Swift's latest album, The Life of a Showgirl. Melissa says the album may be a magnum opus of white supremacy. And why is that? Because there's the song in there called Wish List. And in that song, Taylor Swift says she wants to have children with her football fiancé. The lyrics, I just want you, have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. Wow, she wants the whole block full of white kids that look like Travis Kelce. Fabello says that Swift's liberal attachment to whiteness is actually scarier than if she was MAGA. This, my friend, is today's left. If you're white and you want to have babies with your white husband, you're a racist. It's about white supremacy. But wait, there's more. If you want to go further into Fabello's writings, she will tell you that the nuclear family is a cult. And the way you talk about sex may indicate that you're homophobic. Today's left, to be listened to and obeyed. So hit the streets in a penguin costume and beat those drums. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Leaders. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and President Trump is touting deals he's making.
The deals will create jobs and opportunity, wealth, tremendous wealth and security for both sides and for both sides of the Pacific.
The president said that at a business dinner in Tokyo after addressing troops on a U.S. aircraft carrier stationed in Japan with the new Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi.
So we're still awaiting some details on what agreements they reached. We know Japan is looking at buying Ford F-150s, for instance. Up next, the president is going to be on to South Korea, which is also struggling to make good on its $350 billion investment pledge that they struck to get a better tariff rate. It is likely that South Korea's leadership was watching how things went in Japan, and if they were smart, probably taking notes.
Now, in Japan, they're pledging to invest more than $500 billion into the U.S. Fox's Jackie Heinrich was there in Tokyo. Now, the president in South Korea will also meet with China's leader Xi Jinping and has suggested even a potential sit-down with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Hurricane Melissa is closing in on Jamaica, where many are packed into shelters fearing the worst from the most powerful storm to ever hit Jamaica.
A Category 5 with winds packing maybe up to 175 miles per hour. By the time it makes its way up here, which is a northeast track after landfall. We will likely be in a Category 4 still as it exits the island of Jamaica.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in St. Anne Parish. In addition to wind damage, there's concern about storms surging over 3 feet of rain, causing mudslides and catastrophic flooding in Jamaica. A sheriff's deputy is being mourned the day after being murdered in San Bernardino County, California.
I don't even know what to say. We're embedded in sorrow. Unfortunately for our department, this has happened way too often.
Sheriff Shannon Dykes, the alleged gunman, crashed his motorcycle in a high-speed chase and is now hospitalized. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Search for the Extra 106.3 app wherever you download apps by searching XTRA 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Tug and Los until 10. Glad that you're here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
This is the one song I think about when it's like a Saturday. I'm going to run out and do some fun stuff. And I want to sing into my hairbrush. Like, here's what it is.
Yeah, dude, I love Tears for Fears. I listen to Tears for Fears with regularity. Like, if I'm just going to pull up Apple Music, I will throw on a Tears for Fears station or just Tears for Fears Essentials and turn it up as soon as they get to this part. How can you not?
You're singing into your hairbrush?
Shoot, yeah. I was singing out loud. You ever do this where you drive down the road and you turn it up loud enough so you can't hear yourself?
Oh, yeah.
But you're belting it out like you would at a concert?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I like it when I just know if somebody pulls up next to me and like, it's going to be that loud.
Yeah, that's right.
And you know what I'm listening to.
Yeah, there's no question about it. This is the irritating thing. When people go to the gas station and they leave the windows down and the radio up crazy loud.
Inconsiderate, yes.
So inconsiderate.
I put that on a different level.
Oh, me too.
Than the people that talk on speakerphone, like in a public area.
Oh, I think those are the same, don't you? You don't think those are like the same inconsiderate?
No, only because for the most part, I don't like most of the music that's like, let's face it. Even if I like the music, I'm still like,
no, it's
come
still
on, man.
Man. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Whereas I can choose to just deal with your cell phone conversation.
Yeah, I think they're one and the same.
Oh no, they're cousins to me.
Yeah, right.
They're not twinsies, but they are cousins.
Yeah,
yes.
there's no doubt.
Y'all are related.
Yeah, one I can tolerate more than the other.
But like for instance, I called my wife. I put it on speaker, in part just because I didn't have an earpiece or anything else. And what was the first thing I did? Duck into a studio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to be sitting in the middle of a room like, unless I want my friends to all be part of the conversation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense to me. So many things and so many people are inconsiderate these days. And it's so encouraging when you see someone that's not.
Love it.
It's almost rare when you see someone that's not, but it is. It's like when you see a kid holding the door for a lady or something. You're like, that kid was taught right. That kid was raised right. That's what we hope our kids will do. And I think American culture for so long has been that. Now, I think we're trending away from it, unfortunately. We're trending toward everything's about me. Social media has a play in that. I think Democrats and communists have a play in that. But I do believe Americans want to help. I think we've always been the most generous country in the world. When there's a catastrophe, a natural disaster, who's the first to send money, resources, people, it's always the United States of America. And I think people are now taking advantage of that greatly. This is the number. 40 million people are on SNAP benefits. 40 million. Let that sink in. Think about how many people 40 million is. What's the population of Atlanta? Like 7 million? I mean the metro, not just...
Metro area, we're like 6-7 million.
Yeah, there we go. I didn't even touch it. I mean, you need 5 more of those to get to that number. It's absolutely crazy that many people are on SNAP benefits. We talked about this earlier in the show. If you were here, you probably heard us mentioning it. And the fact that if your neighbor, Los brought this example in, if your neighbor loses his job, you want to lend a hand. And probably people in the neighborhood will lend a hand. When people fall on hard times, we always want to lend a hand. But there's a difference in lending a hand and then just allowing people to take advantage of your generosity without any consideration and definitely no idea to stop.
I had a neighbor who had a spouse who had an accident, and they did not survive the accident. And I remember that when that occurred, it's been several years. The rest of the neighborhood organized a Christmas for the kids.
Yeah.
Because it just happened so suddenly and where it was.
Of course.
And then me and some of the other guys in the neighborhood, we all took turns doing his yard. Yeah. Because that was just something, it's like, didn't want it to be on your plate. And so your community oftentimes will jump in.
That's a hand up.
That's exactly what it is. And so you can't tell me that if I point out the certain amount of welfare recipients or who's drawing on what resources, that somehow that's just mean and cruel, and I can't believe you would do that. Because most of us, I think, draw a line between what you're willing to do for even total strangers, but at the same time, you don't want to make it systematic because it does have an effect on that person long term.
And I'm glad you said that, because every research study that's been done on handouts and even universal basic income, every time one of these research studies is done about giving people handouts forever and giving them basic, basic income needs or whatever that, the leftists call that, every time the research shows that people get poorer, not more wealthy. Even though they're getting handed something every time, universal income, $1,000 a month or $500 a month, or whatever it is. When side by side, when they do those studies, they'll have the people that just get it, and they'll make whatever the money is that's given to them. The people that are on the other side of the study that actually go out and earn, they always earn more than the people that get a handout. It makes you poorer. It changes your mentality of, I need to get out and bust my tail to do something good for me, myself, and my family.
It's been 20 years since we had the 99ers. And I've brought it up before on the show. If you don't recall what the 99ers were, when we went through the economic housing crisis and just what it did, flatlined so much of the economy, created just ripple effects through so many industries, and so many people lost their jobs and lost their homes. At the time, we were at unemployment, as far as you could draw on it, was, I think it was like 45 weeks. And then at that point, it would run out. Well, because of the scenario, Congress pushed it for the time being to 99 weeks. Mm-hmm. Then 60 Minutes started doing stories on those people who had evaporated their 99 weeks. Keep in mind that almost 2 years. By the time they got to the end of the 99 weeks, they were so much harder to employ. They had lost so much of their skills. They were no longer up to date on what the newest trends were, what they had to adapt to.
And had no desire to get there.
Well, that was the problem. It's like even those that wanted to work, they were so damaged psychologically that the idea of being in an office place was almost scary to them because of how far they'd fallen behind in 2 years. It was psychologically so damaging. And so it's different than when you hear a story like, and I was listening to Angel Face, Anna Paulina Luna. Her mom was on welfare. You know what she was doing while she was on welfare?
Looking for a job, working, volunteering, something, anything.
She was grinding to try and get into law school.
Yeah.
To then complete law school. Like, okay,
that's different.
That's the I needed this for the time being, and now I'm on my feet, and here's what I'm doing.
That's right. The time being, she saw a greater future and wanted to achieve that. She needed the hand up, not the hand out. This number of 40 million people on SNAP benefits. How much fraud? Here's the other thing. How much fraud is in this?
All right.
Because of the size and scale of anything the federal government does of this size.
So here's my piggyback information for you. Because I saw when you had submitted this over to our notes, and then I was reading what Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, was pointing out, like digging deeper into this data. Because 40 million, you're like, there's 40 million. If you look at the numbers, and this is from CIS.org, CIS, the amount of people that are drawing any type of welfare, right now in this country, 39% of them are native-born Americans. So you would say 39% of the 40 million are people that are here. Here's the number that starts to get at you. The number of non-citizens is nearly 60%. It's 59. Now, the amount of people that are naturalized citizens is 52%. Now, why do we have an issue with some of these numbers here? Well, the problem ends up being is that you shouldn't have a large percentage of your population, in this case, 59% of non-citizens that are here are drawing welfare benefits. 52% of naturalized citizens that are here are drawing welfare benefits. We're supposed to be bringing in the best and brightest and the most capable of producing from around the world so that they don't take into the system.
That is when people are vetted to come to the United States, that is part of the vetting process.
So think about that 40 million and you start kind of going through it and going like, oh.
This looks like a play. This looks like a plan.
An intentional way to bomb your system.
Right. These lifelong benefits disguised as a hand up. It's not. It's billions in handout that never ends, and it greatly benefits the communists and the Democrat Party. I'm like Los, not opposed to a hand up, but the lifelong handout I am not in favor of. I can't imagine anybody is in favor of this.
Can I piggyback on the piggyback there?
Oh, yes.
Do you know what the total dollar amount in 2024 spent on SNAP benefits?
I feel like I read this. It's like $8 billion or some crazy number.
$100 billion.
That's what I meant.
Dollars.
$100 billion.
$99.8 billion. Now, here's what got interesting to me yesterday, and I saw going around on Twitter. X, whatever. What percentage of that dollar amount do you think goes to Walmart?
Oh, this is an important factor.
24%.
Yes.
So Walmart stands to lose $24 billion. Now that's yearly, but okay.
Still.
Divide that by $2 billion next month. And does that drop the food prices a little bit?
Heck yeah, it does. Absolutely, man. Supply and demand. They know they don't have to lower prices. They don't have to do anything. And if you're in the leadership of Walmart, you don't want this to change. You don't want to give up that. What did you say? $24 billion?
$24 billion a year.
You don't want to give that up because at some point you're going to have to explain to your shareholders why we gave up $24 billion.
You know who else doesn't want to see that?
Democrats.
Well, yeah, that's a given. Hate to say it, hometown boys, Coca-Cola.
Oh, sure. Absolutely, because part of SNAP is probably soft drinks. Because remember, RFK talks about not allowing that.
It's one. I don't have the numbers in front of me. It is. I think one of the biggest SNAP benefits categories is soda.
Yeah, I got no problem with taking it away from Walmart, Coca-Cola. Los, I got no problem taking it away from anybody because it's not right. It's wrong. All of it's wrong. Hand up, yes. Hand out, absolutely not.
Now, I gave you the numbers on just general welfare stuff, but let's just go to what is considered cash. All right, so here's your dollar amount. Here's what's put on a card, right? As it stands right now, 16% of U.S.-born head of households are getting that sort of benefit. Cash on a card, do it at 16%, which basically lines up. Yes, that's the number that falls in there. The problem is you've got 23% of naturalized citizens and 18% of those that are here legally. It's a higher number. And so that's when you start looking at it and going, all right, I understand if you take this away or you limit this. Yeah, there's American corporations that are going to be going like, "What? Well, hold on a second. What are we doing here?"
I do not care.
But that's the issue. It's that you still have to say, all right, well, you're going to have to do a better job selling to people that actually have the money.
And just the research that I referenced earlier, if you don't make this a lifelong benefit, people excel. They actually benefit greater from not being given handouts forever. They do better financially. They do better, in your example, mentally. Then when you look at food stamps by ethnicity, Afghans, 45.6%. Somalis, 42.4%. Iraqi, 34.8%. Dominican, 34.4%. Just Caribbean, 28.2%. And that's when you finally get down to, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not until you get to the sixth highest, and that is native-born Americans. We're taking care of people from all over the place.
Yes, we brought them here typically from our 20-year war, or we brought them here based off of war-torn areas that we'd been involved in.
Or a border that's wide-ass open.
And they were not ready to contribute to this society.
And that's where we're going to continue going the longer that Democrats have their way. And Republicans that are not willing to have a backbone and say, no, we can't do this because this is detrimental to the people that you're giving the handout to. It's not good for their future. It teaches them nothing. It teaches bad habits. It teaches just pure laziness. It takes away ability. It takes away the desire to do better.
You know, I would love to see information on how many people get into and then out of the program, because that's...
I bet that's such a minuscule number, dude.
I need like a little ray of sunshine on that one, because it does happen, but how many are we talking, and how long's the duration, and how much money? Because to think what occurred when the big beautiful bill went through, and in order to receive some of your disability benefits, all right, if you were truly disabled, no conditions. If there was not an issue with you, then we were asking for, 20 hours a month. And the amount of people that are like, I'm not going to do that. Why would I give people 20 hours? Well, because we're giving you money. That was the condition mentally they had gotten to, where it was just entitled to, this is what I'm supposed to get. By who?
Do you remember how we reacted when they started talking about price-controlled grocery stores in New York City?
Well, yeah, because we'd already seen them fail in Tennessee. We've seen them fail in Kansas City.
It has snuck in to the entire country through this. I mean, that is affecting the price of food for people who go to work every day, people who don't get the handout, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's... I didn't even realize it until right now.
So, I just asked Grok how many people get SNAP benefits and then get off of them to become self-reliant. It says exact national figures on annual exits are not tracked centrally by the USDA and focuses on monthly averages rather than inflow and outflow. They have no idea.
Can't tell me.
They have no idea. There's no ray of hope for you, Los. There's none.
Gonna need a deep dive economic study on that one.
No kidding. I don't know if you'll get one. Something tells me. Call. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. A Democrat is a communist, just by another name. Next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 is proud to be a community station that shares your values. This is your station, talking about issues and stories that are most important to you and your family. Stream us live on our all-new app in crystal clear HD and always live on your radio at 106.3 FM.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, You need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free, plus no payments for 2 years.
The hot summer's winding down and the wet fall is approaching. It's time to get your Mercedes-Benz running in tip-top shape. Meet the RBM of Atlanta Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for those services. And once the services have been complete, we'll bring your Mercedes-Benz back to you. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2025 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. And we're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor at RBM of Atlanta for details.
Take a pause.
Air Force Technical Sergeant Tara Cummins had been partnered up with military canine Erica for 2 years. The two did overseas deployments and some work for Secret Service. Cummins says Erica, a Belgian Malinois, was the best kind of partner.
Super sweet, just super loving, super eager to work and perform for her handler.
But they were separated when Tara was assigned to a new base.
The biggest thing that I dreaded was leaving her. Everybody loves Erica.
About a month later, just by chance, Tara found out Erica was being retired. She contacted the American Humane Society, which reunites military canine teams. They managed to get Erica back to Tara, who officially adopted her, and the reunion sounded like,
"Hi, baby." Oh, there it is. Hi.
And Erica is now enjoying civilian life in San Antonio. Take pause. Jill Nato, Fox News.
I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute. The South Carolina man accused of holding 4 vulnerable adults in his basement for years and spending their money is now charged with murder in connection with the deaths of one of his alleged captives. Lancaster police announced that Donnie Ray Birchfield Jr. is charged with murder in the death of 49-year-old Shirley Arnsdorf. The 35-year-old is also charged with first-degree sexual conduct. Back in July, police were called to the Birchfield home and found Arnsdorf laying on the floor unresponsive. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Police learned Birchfield was allegedly the sole caregiver to Arnsdorf and her husband, found evidence of physical abuse, and that other people were being held against their will there, including 2 women he was allegedly romantically involved with, one since 2015. Police say Birchfield controlled their eating, bathroom habits, and communications, and spent their money at Walmart and on his own debts. He's being held without bond. There's more on this story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, October 28th. A study from Texas A&M reveals that a new day of the week is now Metro Atlanta's worst for traffic congestion. The research found that while Fridays still have the highest total traffic volume, the longest delays and slowest average speeds happen on Thursdays. Experts attribute the pattern to hybrid work schedules. Many office-based workers commit to in-person days midweek, pushing more commuters onto the roads within a shorter period of time. A new online training program set to launch in 2026 aims to attract and train youth sports officials for local leagues in Georgia. The course is fully digital and designed for citizens to complete training and start officiating in community youth sports, helping address the growing shortage of game officials. The program is backed by funding from the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, the Atlanta Braves Foundation, and the NFL Foundation in partnership with the Georgia Recreation and Park Association. And former Georgia Governor and U.S. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue has been inducted into the National Agriculture Hall of Fame in Kansas City. Officials say Perdue will join past agriculture pioneers like Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson in the Hall's collection. He's the 3rd Georgian inducted. Today's weather, cloudy and chilly with some scattered showers. We have a high of 55. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. You can save up to $2,100 off, and you get a great deal, 60 months, 0% financing with approved credit when you reach out to the folks at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Chuck and his team waiting on your call, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. So I wanted to run this by you. Let's run the numbers here on Extra 1063. Left-wing extremism has destroyed the Democrat Party.
Oh, it doesn't exist, Tug. It's a figment of the imagination.
Like Antifa. Or has it? Because the DSA said, the Democrat Socialists in America, said in 2012 they needed to capture the DNC. Now they've done it. And now, get this number, 70% of Democrat Party voters said their party is out of touch with their voting base. And I would say, no, it's not. It's not at all. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing right now. It's been captured by the communists. It's going exactly how they planned, and they've allowed it by being afraid to say no, being afraid, like we used to be, same thing, of being called racist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic, Islamophobic.
When I remember this now going back, like 3 years ago when we were at Governor's Gun Club, I remember talking about do not feel bad about considering yourself conservative. Because what is the modern conservative looked at as? Are they looked at as like some sort of warmonger? No. Are you looked at as some sort of Bible thumper? Well, hopefully that's actually popular. That's actually having a revival in this country. Are you looked at as somebody who would never change your stance on abortion? Maybe. But the tent's gotten bigger. And so there's no point where being considered conservative is somehow not in lockstep with what's actually cool in this country right now. Whereas communist, totally different.
There's a new article at semaphore.com written by a Democrat named David Weigel. And the new study, 70% believe that the Democrats' rotten brand, which is endorsed by, Joe Biden and everybody else, blames not the groups inside the Democrat Party, but the whole party for embracing identity politics and left-wing ideas. They say, David Weigel says, the way out, the way to save them from themselves is to return to the Obama 2012, Bernie 2016 campaign and ideas. What are you talking about? That's exactly what you're doing right now.
Okay. I would make this argument. I believe that is a strategy that is more sound than what's going on right now. And here's the reason why. Bernie and Obama didn't really want to tell you what they wanted to do.
Right. And so if he's just saying lie,
hide it
better.
What have I said? Stop telling people.
That's right. Because Obama was a closet commie. He didn't want to tell you.
He didn't. They did the media did the job
for them.
That's right. So that you never found out what was so important to him.
This is unreal. It's like David Weigel has no idea. And it's semaphore.com if you want to find the article. They have been badly weakened, he says, with self-described white liberals losing ground with other voters. Yeah, nobody wants to, even Democrats don't want to be communists. It used to be there was nothing worse that you could be called than communist. Now they embrace it full on because the Democrat Socialists in 2012, I've been telling you this for years on the show, their goal was to capture the Democrat Party. Look at the Democrat Party now. Look at its leadership. Who is it? AOC, communist. Bernie, communist. Mamdani, the biggest grin on the face of the planet. And what are his parents? Communists. What is he? A communist. That is what the party is. There's no saving the Democrat Party. David Weigel is living in la-la land. Did he miss the fact that the entire party is now communist and nobody can do anything or get elected by being a moderate?
Here's the challenge. There is no such thing right now as a younger Democrat that skews or lives as a centrist. That's a huge issue. There's not one where you can say, well, they're electable. Because the problem is, if let's say you wanted to go the route of, all right, Josh Shapiro. Well, he's way too Jewish for his own party, by their own admission.
Yeah.
Pete Buttigieg, what was the problem?
Way too gay.
Way too gay for his own party. I mean, that's not me. That's Kamala Harris. She's like, we don't have enough time. He's that gay. So who are you finding that's going to be young, that's going to carry the flag, that can lead them back into an area where I think you can at least compete in national elections? Because without cheating in 2020, we're going on a decade. A decade. 2016, 2020, 2024. A decade. You haven't been able to sniff the presidency. It wasn't like you were close in 2024, and you weren't even close in 2016. The numbers were almost 100 of more electoral votes for Donald Trump than there were for Hillary Clinton.
Dude, it's funny. Right now on MSNBC, the super that was just on the screen said the GOP works to make Mamdani the face of the Democrats. We don't have to work at all. He is the face.
They're doing it. They're all excited.
They can't wait to prop him up. They can't wait for this. They love every second of it. We're not having to do anything. They're doing it.
And the only ones with a middle of the road or left of center message that still believes in the Constitution are old heads that they're not paying attention to anymore. That was the whole point about Bill Maher has aged out of this thing where he has influence. James Carville has aged out of this thing. What did we have? And I'm trying to remember who was the architect for Obama, who basically ran everything. He's even to the point where they don't pay attention.
Axelrod?
Yeah, David Axelrod. Sorry, they don't even pay attention to Axelrod. They're like you haven't won an election since 2008.
And that's why I say that the guy that writes this article in David Weigel, he says in this, there's a quote in here, a lot of what we're arguing for is a return to Obama era positioning on issues like immigration and crime, the prioritization of the economy over cultural issues. Nobody in the Democrat Party, in its leadership, wants any of that. They are doubling down on cultural issues. They're doubling down on keeping illegals in the country. Look at how they're fighting ICE. Look at how they're fighting deportations. They're doubling down on it. This dude is in a cloud of dust somewhere, has no idea what's going on, has no answer for his party, and the answers that he does have, they want nothing to do with. They are controlled. The party is now communists, run by communists, for communists.
You now have that feeling, because I know you have a good heart. You have a big heart. And when you've heard other leftists talk about bringing the country together, and you were like, you know what, that sounds like a great idea.
I love the idea. It ain't a real idea.
That's the problem. That's where you've now hit the point of like, how do I, because all communists, there's no such thing as a soft communist. There never has been. The communist has a singular focus. And what are they willing to do to get it? They'll kill. They've
proven that.
That's always been it. And what's always tempered right underneath the surface, whenever we play this audio of these people with Man on the Street, and you get this lingering of just under the surface how crazy they are. Like when we talked about that one woman, and she was like, I think I'm a nice person. Well, I mean, but it's time to get mean.
That's right.
And they ask her about Charlie Kirk, and suddenly it's just vile rhetoric switch after another of this person deserved it.
He deserved it.
The person that we played yesterday who talked about wanting to see a Donald Trump obituary. And I was just kidding. And then as soon as he was challenged, he's like, you don't go there with me.
Yeah, that's right.
The communist is ready to hurt you in order to get what they want from you. Me, I'm just like, I want to leave you alone. I hope you do well.
They have no interest in leaving you alone, and they do not want you to do well.
There's no bridge there.
There is no bridge. It's exactly
right. There's no, let's find a common ground. Kumbaya. Here, I've got the bongos.
But I feel like there's Democrats out there like David Weigel that just doesn't know where his party is.
They're showing up to our end.
Yeah, that's right. Right. And they're saying we've got to be more moderate. There's no do you think chance. AOC is going to be moderate about anything?
There's no chance.
Bernie Sanders, give me the moderate position that he carries. And Mamdani, as much as MSNBC says we want to make him the face of the Democrat Party, They've made him the face because that's what they're after, communism, and he's an Islamist who despises America and is very vocal about it.
I was listening to Patrick Bet-David, and he was doing an interview with Anna Paulina Luna. Did like 90 minutes on his podcast, and so I was listening to that. And she was asked about certain people on the Democrat side. And she had some nice things, interesting to say about even like Ilhan Omar. Like she had different things where you went, oh, okay, that's interesting. She told this story about how they were on a diplomatic mission and this one person from Europe was crapping all over Trump in the Congress. And Ilhan Omar said, as long as you're on this plane, you're not going to speak about our president that way. You're like, hold on, that's different. So there is such a thing as the public-facing person and then the one behind the scenes.
No, I do believe that.
And now, here's the part about it. When it comes to so many of these people, the AOCs and the Mamdanis, she referred to them all as grifters. That this is where the money's coming. The money's coming from outside the country. The money is coming from people who want to destroy America from within.
Soros, Tides Foundation.
And so they will consistently grift according to what these people want. It's like, are they a communist? Probably. Are the people that are backing them definitely communist globalists? Certainly. And so they're playing the game according to where their money's coming from. And that's where you wonder if that's the future of politics, if that's an area where Democrats can't raise the money like they used to, then now they're looking at their foreign entities and saying, well, what do you want me to do? I got to stay in power here.
Buddy Carter told us the same stuff, right? It's very different in the gym up on Capitol Hill in the morning when everybody's in there working out.
Versus the cameras are here.
The cameras are here. It's exactly right. That's very, very different. Although, Ilhan Omar, there's not a chance that I believe that she is not a through and through communist. There's not a chance I don't believe that. I don't think you could ever convince me, even though she said what she said and
I think what she is she's devoted to power. She's devoted to her country.
Somalia.
Not this one.
Somalia, the one that she says she is for before she's an American.
And is against anything that is conservative.
Well,
and so that's where it comes down to.
I would imagine the Islamist layer of that too. Because that's something that's it's starting to get talked about more and more, and understandably so. I mean, it's frightening to see some of the gatherings that are happening in places like New York City and Dearborn, Michigan, and even in Texas, which is insane. But there's so many of these Democrats who don't realize what has happened to their party. There's so many Democrats that have no idea. And they're going to wake up to a punch in the face when they finally get we'll call it the red pill moment, when they finally get that understanding and it clicks for them, they're like, oh my God.
I think the inverse of this, where Donald Trump has moved the Republican Party and the conservative movement, and granted, he's not a conservative.
It's crazy. He's actually moved it toward the center.
He's moved it much more towards the center. And I feel like that is much more towards where I'm in, where there are elements of me that are libertarian where I don't care what you do in your bedroom, doesn't affect me.
Right.
I was like, now, don't put books about it and don't talk to my kids about it. That's for me to talk about. Like, there's elements of that where I go, this is where I'm at.
Conservatarian, if you will.
And you are getting closer to me. And so I don't feel like Donald Trump has moved me in a direction that I wasn't already there. I do feel that a lot of what's going on the left has moved traditional Democrats in an area where they wouldn't recognize themselves from 10 years ago.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't recognize who they were 20 years ago.
Which is why David Weigel's like, well, let's go back to Obama in 2012. Let's go back to Bernie in 2016. Unfortunately, you just didn't know that's where you are. It's exactly where you are because that's who they are and have always been. Like Lo said, they just disguised it a little better. When we continue on Extra 106.3, the 2028 Republican ticket on the Morning Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, October 28th. The LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays Took more than 6 hours to determine just who was going to lead the World Series. The Dodgers won 6-5 in 18 innings. Former Atlanta Brave Freddie Freeman hits a walk-off homer to end it. The Dodgers now lead the World Series 2-1. Game 4 is set for tonight. First pitch is set for 8 o'clock. The Atlanta Hawks are now off to a 1-3 start after losing in Chicago last night to the Bulls, 128-123. The team is back in action Wednesday night in Brooklyn. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
This fall, the gridiron calls, which means you'll be road tripping to games across the South, and you'll need a reliable ride to get you there. And Subaru of Gwinnett has the vehicle for you. But a new car, truck, or SUV from Subaru of Gwinnett is about way more than just getting to the games. It's about getting the family home. It's about getting to work safely, but it's also about getting the most out of every adventure. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, the 2025 Subaru Outback shares your spirit with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Or maybe it's the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. It holds the road with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and it holds everything you need for the tailgate. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and let your adventurous mind run wild. Then stop in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all three are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement, and your future. Hi, this is Glenn Beck. The only financial advisory firm I recommend in Atlanta is Nicholas Wealth Management. David Nicholas and his team believe protecting your money is about more than wealth. It's about defending your faith, your family, and your freedom. If your hard-earned retirement is left exposed to market chaos, higher taxes, or inflation, what happens to the life you've worked so hard to build? For over 20 years, David Nicholas has helped families right here in Atlanta fight back with retirement strategies built to better withstand uncertainty. Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 404-890-5606, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Aim to safeguard your future today.
Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm that uses a variety of different investment strategies.
It's October 28th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today's Animation Day. Go ahead, watch your favorite cartoon established in 2002 to celebrate the rising art of animation. On this day in 1886, the Statue of Liberty is dedicated by U.S. President Grover Cleveland and followed by the first ticker tape parade in New York City. A one-day increase of global COVID-19 cases of more than 500,000 for the first time, rising 25% in under 2 weeks, according to Reuters in 2020. Hurricane Zeta makes landfall in 2020 in the U.S. near Cocodrie, Louisiana, as a Category 2 storm. And way back in 1893, the famed Russian conductor Peter Tchaikovsky conducts the first performance of his symphony, No. 6 in B minor. I'm CJ Pompa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Fox on Tech.
Two social networking giants could be in big trouble with the Europeans. Both TikTok and Meta are now being ruled to have violated the European Commission's Digital Services Act, otherwise known as the DSA. The law is aimed at curbing harmful online content and obligates companies running social media platforms to give EU government researchers ample access to their inner workings, and that TikTok and Meta are failing to be forthcoming. The Commission calls their procedures for requesting data burdensome, and that the government researchers are often provided with incomplete or unreliable data, making their inquiries difficult to complete. Neither company agrees with the findings and say they've worked to make such data accessible to the requesters. While the matter is far from resolved, European law could mandate Meta and TikTok be fined in amounts of up to 6% of their global annual revenue. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
The Fan and Extra 106.3 are proud to salute all those who've served our great nation at our 2025 Veterans Day Golf Classic. Friday, November 7th at Heritage Golf Links. Join all your favorite Fan and Extra personalities for a day of golf, prizes, and fun, all benefiting our friends at the Warrior Alliance. But if you want to play in one of the last tournaments of the year, you've got to get registered now at extra1063.com or at 680thefan.com. Special thanks Kingston Mizuno, Georgia Drive Chevy, First Watch, Scana Energy, Matthews Cafeteria, Crown Royal Canadian Whiskey, Patron Tequila, Surfside Iced Tea and Lemonade Vodka, and Weber Ranch Vodka.
Tug and Los until 10. Hoping to see you out at the Veterans Day Golf Classic. That is coming up. What's it? Next week? Into next week?
Next week.
So get registered. Xtra1063.com/Veterans Day.
And we'll be broadcasting live.
Yeah, come on.
On site. So if you want to come out early.
Fancy like.
I believe that last year we might have been able to jump off a little bit early. I think we went to Glen Beck at like 9:30. So we had a chance to warm up and meet everybody and handle announcements. And we also had time to give Kimmer 2 drinks.
Oh.
And then the microphone.
Oh.
And I don't know if they're going to do that again.
Probably not a good idea.
I thought it was successul.
Oh, well then, yeah, let's do it again then. Let's reload.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pumping my fist. I was like, get him, Kimmer, get him.
Everybody else was like,
right now, our operations manager, Scott McFarland's waving it off. He's like, no Kimmer after 2 drinks.
See, I mean, it just seems obvious to me. When things are a bad idea, I can usually pick them out.
I have an idea. Let's give the Marine 2 drinks and then the microphone and let him talk.
This is a man that will say what is on his mind.
All the time.
There is not a filter.
There was no FCC.
No, and there's no FCC to keep him any guidelines. Yeah. So that's why you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful who you hand the microphone to at the Veterans Day Golf Classic. Scotty has already ruled. Kimmer, sorry, buddy. Because I'm sure he's listening. Kim listens every morning, just like we listen to the show in the afternoon.
Yes. I say give Kimmer the mic, but Kimmer, Scotty Mac.
He's already shot it down.
He's waving
buddy.
it off, but you're
done for.
I'm going to find a way. Yeah, Kimmer, take this microphone from my hand.
Toss it over.
I'm going to toss it to him like a lightsaber.
That's right.
Take it from my hand, Kimmer. Tell him what you think.
Dude, I'm
needs a microphone. Give him a megaphone.
That's right. That would be even better. That would be even better because it would have that tinniness.
You ever seen the back-off challenges at golf tournaments?
I don't think so. What is that?
It's these guys that they sit there at a hole and they just heckle whoever's swinging right there.
I love that.
I feel like Los would be a strong contender for the back-off challenge.
I'd be elite.
Yeah, let's do it.
Elite heckling.
Let's do it. Just
give me a lawn chair, old 80s lawn chair.
Just right in the middle of the backswing. The whole goal is just, so they're standing over the ball. The whole goal is to just make them laugh so hard that they've got to step away.
Yeah. You're going to miss. Yeah, jackass.
See, I don't agree with talking in somebody's backswing. What I would say is the heckle is all the way up to the tee box, all the way on the address, and then you let it. Now, if you can break the person during that time period, you've won.
It's once they get settled in, as soon as your feet are set, then they let it rip.
Yeah, that's right. And you can see that. What is that challenge called?
It's called the back-off challenge.
Back-off challenge. I have to look that up. The challenge that we have right now is that Democrats think Donald Trump is going to run in 2028 because he made up hats to troll them. That is not the case. It's not the case. I mean, it's constitutionally going to be.
It's fun that you have them.
Absolutely. It's so awesome. So fun. But the real ticket is just as good, and Donald Trump will be involved. There's no doubt.
Donald Trump was asked while he was on Air Force One, well, are you going to consider running as the VP and then being elevated? And he's like, no. In fact, I thought he was really smart about this. He's like, that's weak. It's cheap. The people would never go for it. I'm like, you got a pretty good handle on this. This is a guy who also knows that would make the left go completely insane, maybe even more so than they are now. So he brought up this one particular ticket, and I think it's the one that makes the most sense. Now, the question is, who's leading it? Because they're both stars. And I believe the vice president would be the lead.
That's the natural.
But if you ever thought about, and this is the important part about getting all this stuff done right with illegal immigration and the census, you can basically ensure a level playing field where it is our people versus their people. And right now, a ticket of J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio is far better than their people.
Well, we have great people. Well, I don't have to get into that, but we have one of them standing right here. We have J.D., obviously. The vice president is great. I think Marco's great. I think, I'm not sure if anybody would run against us. I think if they ever formed a group, it would be unstoppable. I really do. I believe that. I would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever. It's very terrible. I have my best numbers. If you read it, am I not ruling it out? You'll have to tell me. All I can tell you is that we have a great group of people, which they don't. They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test. Have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard. They're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
Okay. First off, when he starts referring to himself as Trump, I'm like, okay, we're rolling now.
All in third person.
We're rolling now. I couldn't handle Trump.
That's so great.
It's like, all right, we're into marketing now. Here's where we're at.
Yeah.
But I think the important takeaway, the blue wall was supposed to protect the Democrats again in 2024.
Uh-oh.
And it fell completely. I think J.D. Vance would keep that as an area of the country outside of Minnesota where you would be the owner of it. And Marco Rubio, I mean, that's blood red Florida.
Yeah.
But at least it's still the same sort of setup of, I got Ohio and Florida. It's where we're going with.
It's Vance Rubio. There's no doubt JD will lead. It's just the natural progression. There's no question in my mind about that. But I love that ticket. It makes me feel good about it because of what they've been able to accomplish under Donald Trump, under his tutelage, if you will. Not that they weren't successful on their own, because they were. But he has given them the roadmap. He's given them the blueprint. And you see it with J.D. Vance. You see how he goes. He is not afraid of the media. He's seen Trump be so masterful with the media. Dude, you don't talk about a baptism by fire a little bit. Here's how you do it. And J.D. is taking the bull by the horns.
These are younger guys. These are guys that are in their 40s. These are guys that are photogenic. They're telegenic.
Yep.
They're smart. They're good on their feet with the media. I think they would be set up for the kind of victory where you'd be sitting back going,
"No,
what are you going to lose? You going to lose a debate?" And again, the only way to really even this out, the left doesn't have the power to gerrymander anymore. They've gerrymandered everything. So what are they going to do? Gerrymander again?
Which is what Arnold Schwarzenegger was talking about recently. I can't remember which network he was on, but he was talking about. He was like, "What do you mean?" Because they came at him about Republicans gerrymandering, and he was like, "They've been doing it for 200 years."
He was on with Bill Maher as well, and he pointed out they've been doing it for 200 years. It's like
this is just the founding of the nation.
This is just what's now going on, and if that census is going down, as I believe, I want to see what the next thing is, because part of what's going on, you've had such a string of victories for Donald Trump, a lot of them being foreign, but you've also obviously had your big bill that's gone through. You've had so much strength domestically that's the reason why the Democrats have called timeout. Like, no more. We can't beat him in Congress. He's got the Senate, too. Every single time we try and stop him in the courts, the Supreme Court's like, you're not allowed to do that. He's the commander-in-chief. So they've called timeout. Well, what's going to be the next thing that's coming along? And I believe he's going to attack health care, and I believe he's going to get that census going.
And the other thing is, the timeout that they've called has pissed off their own base. That's the reason you had the Federal Workers Union say, pass the clean CR. And interestingly, that they used that word specifically, CR.
Pass the clean CR, the one that's already gone, the one that gets them paid.
That's right.
Because and I get where they're coming from, any further debate on any of this is another delay. And so now we're starting to add up, well, how much money are we missing? Yeah, they weren't the recipients, and from what I understand, of the military got paid.
No, that's right. The billionaire from Wyoming peeled off $130 million.
So the military's covered for the month of October. These people have not been. No wonder they're getting to the point where, like, pass the clean CR.
You have to. They have to. They know it. Everybody knows it. It's silly to even pretend that shouldn't. It should have already been done. It's so ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. Extra 106.3, we're proud to stand with Atlanta small businesses, the heartbeat of this community. Join us for Small Business Casino Night, powered by First Horizon Bank, Thursday, November 20th. It's a night to network, celebrate, and win. Every business walks away with advertising, and one lucky winner, one lucky small business, scores a $50,000 marketing campaign. Spots are limited. If you want to go, biz at extra1063.com. Biz at extra1063.com is how you reach out. Tug and Los until 10. MSNBC says, yes, it's the Democrats. They own the shutdown.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Let me introduce you to Melissa Fabello, Ph.D. And if you're not already impressed, you need to know that Melissa Fabello specializes and writes about body politics, beauty culture and eating disorders, feminism and social justice, human sexuality studies. She's a Jurassic Park enthusiast, and her pronouns are she, her. She will tell you she is, quote, highly academically educated. Wow, I'm impressed. I want to see what she has to say about things. So let's see. Her latest, Taylor Swift is a racist. Melissa gets this from Taylor Swift's latest album, The Life of a Showgirl. Melissa says the album may be a magnum opus of white supremacy. And why is that? Because there's the song in there called Wish List. And in that song, Taylor Swift says she wants to have children with her football fiancé. The lyrics, I just want you, have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. Wow, she wants the whole block full of white kids that look like Travis Kelce. Fabello says that Swift's liberal attachment to whiteness is actually scarier than if she was MAGA. This, my friend, is today's left. If you're white and you want to have babies with your white husband, you're a racist. It's about white supremacy. But wait, there's more. If you want to go further into Fabello's writings, she will tell you that the nuclear family is a cult. And the way you talk about sex may indicate that you're homophobic. Today's left, to be listened to and obeyed. So hit the streets in a penguin costume and beat those drums. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
This is House Call for Health. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, first observed in 1981 as a National Day of Unity, but now it's the whole month as a way to unite advocates across the country in their efforts to end it. The National Domestic Violence Hotline says it's important to raise awareness about the signs of abuse and ways to stop it, to listen to uplifting survivor stories, and provide additional resources to leaders and policymakers. This year's theme is With Survivors Always, to explore what it means to be in partnership with survivors towards safety, support, and solidarity. In addition to the October efforts, February is Teen Domestic Violence Awareness Month. For resources or help, you can visit thehotline.org, which also has online safety tips because many abused partners often go to the internet to research help, but their abusive partners often monitor and track online activity. You can also call 1-800-799-SAFE. That's SAFE. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health on Lisa Brady, Fox News.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
He's making deals in Tokyo. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Japan's going to be investing $550 billion into the United States.
That was President Trump addressing business leaders at a dinner after he took Japan's new Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, with him on a U.S. aircraft carrier, talking to American troops stationed there.
This woman is a winner, so, we've become very close friends all of a sudden.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports from Tokyo.
The two leaders also signed a framework agreement to ramp up mining and production of rare earth minerals, similar to a deal the U.S. just signed with Australia. Focus on rare earths is becoming a critical initiative after China tried to gain the upper hand in trade talks by throttling exports, effectively imposing control over the world's technology transactions.
Now, the president will meet with China's leader on the last stop of his Asian trip, South Korea. Hurricane Melissa is already being felt in Jamaica. The storm will be the most powerful one to ever hit the island. It's a Category 5 with 175-mile-an-hour winds. The eye will make landfall later this morning. House Republicans are calling for executive actions President Biden signed with the auto pen be voided.
In letters to the Department of Justice and D.C. Board of Medicine, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer is demanding both conduct comprehensive investigations. Committee Republicans allege the former president's doctor, Kevin O'Connor, was complicit in a medical cover-up of President Biden's mental and cognitive deterioration.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. It's day 28 of the government shutdown, and another vote on funding could fail at the end to end the standoff at the Senate. Congressman Ro Khanna, a Democrat, tells Fox Business the Republican House Speaker could help ease some pain.
If he called Congress back in session and he said put up a clean bill to pay the troops and pay essential federal workers, you would get a lot of Democrats voting for it and it would pass.
So a similar bill in the Senate last week was blocked by Democrats who keep demanding any funding bill to reopen the government must include an extension of Obamacare tax credits that are going to expire at the end of the year. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Does your friend listen to an old station whose news gives them the blues? Set your friend right. Tell him to download the Extra 106.3 app.
Gives me the blues seeing Freddie Freeman walk off a home run in the 18th inning, giving the Dodgers a win over the Blue Jays because he should be in Atlanta. We've discussed it. We've beat it to death. I know, but it does. It breaks
the
my heart.
revisionist history on some of this. I'm seeing a gentleman, and he's a decent dude. He does radio south of here. He's like, well, if only the Braves had gone to the 6th year with Freddie Freeman. I was like, no 32-year-old is getting a 6-year deal from this team.
Yeah.
I was like, there are hard and fast rules. Now, that's nobody likes it. It's how it goes.
It just is
but
what it is.
There is this is not the steroid era. Like, you now have players that actually hit 33, 34 years old, and they're nowhere near as good as where they were at 30. And so that's the way Major League Baseball is.
Yes.
That's just how it goes.
Hard to argue it. Last night, the singing of the national anthem was done by Brad Paisley. He's 53 today. I'm a huge Paisley fan, but he's definitely got a little lefty to him. As much as I love Paisley, he's a West Virginia guy, but a little left leaning in there with old Brad Paisley. Wishing things were a little different, but they're not. And that's the thing about country. You always know. There's no doubt. Overwhelming majority of country artists are conservative, but there is there's a little bit. There's a few. There's a handful
like
out there. Tim
everybody
McGraw's another that's center left.
I don't care either way as long as you're not
right. And that's
all about it.
Most of the time, country artists don't break it out in concert like a Pearl
exactly.
Jam.
I'm like, fine, cool.
Yeah.
Who was the Joker who was making sure you had to be vaccinated to go to his shows?
Oh, who was doing that?
It
escapes me. I can't remember who was doing it. But that's the thing. With the exception of that, most country artists they understand that they're in the extreme minority and they don't want to run you off. They don't want to become the.
Oh, it's Jason Isbell.
Jason Isbell. Yeah, but he's Americana. He's not even country anyway. Yeah.
I'm just saying
Eric Church too.
Sucks.
I don't remember Eric Church doing it because I went to a church show and wasn't at the time anyway.
Oh, you know what Grok tells me? Somebody else was requiring vaccine or test requirements for her shows, framing it as a business decision to safeguard staff, crew, and fans amid rising deaths It's Jennifer Nettles.
Sugarland. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me all that much.
Then on the other side, you have, in October 2021, Travis Tritt announced he would cancel any of his tour dates that required proof of vaccination.
That's right. That's Georgia right there. Going out. No, I love it. Yeah, the Isabel thing, man. I would rather y'all rub back over my head with your car than listen to Jason Isbell. This is me personally.
It seems quite extreme, but
I just want you to understand how serious I am about it.
Do you have a grenade you can tie to my face?
Yeah, that's right. It's either that or listen to Jason Isbell. I'll take the grenade.
It's very dark. Dark humor. Dark Tug is showing up at 9:05. Everybody.
I do have the slightest hint of dark humor.
Yes. No, I always enjoy it when it comes up because when it's almost sheepish. Like you're just like, I'm gonna. I know I shouldn't,
but I'm going to anyway.
I need to.
I've got to get this out because otherwise I'm liable to explode like that grenade.
That's fun.
No, it is. It is. So happy birthday. Paisley sounded great last night on the World Series. I don't know who did the Canadian national anthem, but it was some Canadian dude, and they have an ugly national anthem too, by the way. The Canadians, it's ugly. It's not pretty like the Star Spangled Banner.
I'm gonna go create a sounder for this. We're gonna have Dark Tug. I don't know how long it's gonna take me. It won't take long. I'll see what I can do in the back room. I'll have to be quick, but I'm going to make this during the break. Hopefully, it will not be to the normal quality in which. No. Like, I've been trying to think of, because we've been talking about having a segment where Tug leads everything, and it's like Tug, it's one MC, and here's what Tug's going to tell you.
Reveille, all hands heave out.
And so now all I keep doing is going back to all of the movies I've ever seen with people on submarines or ships, and I'm like, how can I turn that into like a fun little quick open? What would be so cool about that?
What was it called? It was the Navy movie comedy, Kelsey Grammer.
Down Periscope.
Down Periscope, yes.
Yes. Which is funny and underrated. Yeah. It's funny.
And who's the smoke show that's in it with him?
That's Jim Carrey's ex-wife.
Yes, exactly.
From Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, she's so beautiful. But anyway, that was a good
when
one.
They shrink her uniform.
Yeah.
Lauren Holly, there you go.
Good
And she has to wear that little skimpy uniform. I'm like,
the buttons are bursting.
Buttons are pulling apart.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
How you doing?
Good for you, Lauren Holly.
This movie just got much better.
You're doing great.
I like this movie all of a sudden. Even there's I need to go back. Does it stand up? Have you seen it in a long time? Because I haven't. It's been years.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I think it's still funny. I think that it's like this cast. It's like, here's Kelsey Grammer, here's Lauren Holly, and then it's this collection of some of these actors. We're like, oh, is that Harlan Williams? Like, it's a bunch of comedians that were never like big time stars, but you'll recognize them.
Yeah. Dark Tug. I would like to point out Stephanie at Know It All Mom on Twitter, on X. She says, Dark Tug is not wrong. Isbell sucks. And a friend of mine used to manage him and would vouch for that. I'm not going to throw out who it is, but there's no love lost there.
Can I bring up one other thing that was never planned on being on the show that just seems kind of topical?
Yes, let's do it.
Have you seen the images of this crazy hurricane?
I thought that was a hole in the snow.
That's Hurricane Melissa. And that thing...
From the airplane flying above it.
Okay, hurricane season's supposed to be over. And we went through the whole year where nothing hit the mainland.
Donald Trump. Yeah, they were
if you
afraid
vote for Kamala Harris, we can end climate change. So, but this thing, and we're not looking at us, but this is 175 miles per hour, and it's a monster south of Jamaica. Wherever this thing goes is going to be like catastrophic crazy. But for the position of where it is and the time of year, we have like the best pictures of this thing.
That is, I really did. Because I didn't notice the wing. I was just looking at, and it looks like somebody's dug a hole in the sand or in snow to me, because those are the clouds, how thick they are, and just the shape. That's unreal.
Like the amount of flights and stuff we've been able to get into this thing because again, time of year.
Yep.
And how it's formed, it's nuts.
Yeah,
but it's out there. Like I'm kind of I'm going to be watching that one. I've got to. Well, I don't worry about hurricanes any longer.
Well,
but
yeah, because you sold your property.
I spent a long time, about 10 years, every single year going, oh, my God, here we go.
Not this year. Not again. Please no. Heavens no.
Only got hit by one major one and like 2 small ones.
Buddy, that is no good for anybody. No doubt about it. Just like this government shutdown is not good for the Democrats. They know it. Now they're like in panic mode. And The Hill, was it last week, did an article talking about how the Democrats were afraid to reopen the government because the extreme part of their party, which is the entire party now, as we discussed earlier in the show, was going to blame them for it. But it doesn't matter. Poor MSNBC had to admit that the shutdown is on the Dems. A clean CR. That's what they want. That's what the government workers want. Listen to this.
With MSNBC's Kevin Fry on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers are facing growing calls to end the shutdown. Kevin, what's the latest?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very dramatic call from that union of federal employees representing hundreds of thousands with a statement today saying, among other things, that it's time for our leaders to start focusing on how to solve problems for the American people rather than on who is going to get the blame for a shutdown that Americans dislike. Because when the folks who serve this country are standing in line for food banks after missing a second paycheck because of the shutdown, they aren't looking for partisan spin. They're looking for wages that they earned. They go on to essentially say that Congress needs to pass, in their view, a clean CR.
Yeah. The one that's been proposed for 28 days now. And the government union, the government workers union, has sided with the Republicans. That's probably not who they sided with when they were voting. But because it's so obvious what needs to happen, and it's so bad for the Democrats, that MSNBC had to tell the truth. They had no other choice because the union had broadcasted. Had MSNBC not said it, everybody else would have seen it on X or on Facebook or on Instagram or some TikTok, some social media network.
Are you tired of winning?
Never. What? Never.
Dark Tug is like, I'm always winning.
I always want to win.
Dark Tug looks at you and like, I'm a winner.
That's right.
I believe we're going to get 2 things this week. I firmly believe because of those unions that we're going to get an end to this thing by the end of the week. That we will get a vote and there's going to be too much pressure. And we saw the cracks in the dam. We saw, John Fetterman, who last week was like, we should be voting for this. Let's just vote it and then we'll debate it out from there. There is no business that can happen in terms of the power of the purse in Congress without the Senate voting to get this thing through. That's it. That's all. That's what it just comes down to. I also believe you're going to get a rate cut as the Fed is meeting.
Yep.
And so these are the 2 where it's like, you want to get some wins this week? I think those are going to be combo for wins.
You're about to. The only thing, can I go back to the John Fetterman thing just for a minute? Because I've given him a lot of credit. He's never voted any way that I needed him to, but he's always been out front saying the right things. I think when he came out and said, let's get rid of the filibuster to pass the CR, that was the most self-serving, that was the most Democrat thing he could have done because the Democrats want to get rid of the filibuster. He was saying, well, if this is a chance to get the government, that's the time that I think he's being the most sinister, self-serving Democrat possible. He said the right thing, but he knew exactly what he was doing. That's the way I feel about that.
His voting, whenever you go through any of the measures of like how far left it is. Now, it's not Elizabeth Warren. She is by far the most far left in terms of voting record in the same way that, for instance, Marsha Blackburn is on the right. These are the 2 that are opposite of one another. But John Fetterman does kind of land in that I'm not exactly in the middle of the left. I'm a little bit further to the left on my voting record. So you're right. He says one thing, but traditionally his votes have gone further to the left than what he's been talking.
And getting rid of the filibuster, he's using it to say, I'm trying to reach across the aisle.
Why don't you guys get rid of that filibuster, huh?
And, dude, you want to talk about somebody knew exactly what he was doing? How do I appear that I'm reaching across the aisle, but really I want to do the duty of my party, which has been calling to get rid of the filibuster. So now that they're out of power, they would have a little bit.
It always goes back to them.
Dirty, low down.
The only
as
time
much credit as I've given him, That is low down.
The only time you hear about the elimination of the filibuster is when the Democrats are out of power.
Ever.
Always.
Because it's going to come back to bite you. It is. It's there for a reason.
I mean, if you look into the nuclear option, that was another one where it wasn't until this was basically an invention of the left that ended up biting them later. But that's what happens. Like, you're out of power, you come up with these crazy scenarios, and then boom, in your face.
And they're out of power because they're not moderates. They're out of power because they're communists. And now they've dropped it altogether. We did the article earlier where a Democrat wrote in Semaphore, he's like, we need to go back to the Barack Obama days. Which just means why?
Stop telling people what you actually intend to do to them.
Quit telling them that you're a communist. Appear as a moderate.
Yes. Play the game. I'm a centrist. I mean, what did Joe Biden, and again, the most fictitious election we've ever had. I mean, to think that man claimed, I got 15 million more votes than the first black president in history.
They told him that. He didn't know.
We all know. We all know this.
He had no idea.
Yes, Barack Obama, who enjoyed record popularity at the time, Joe Biden had 15 million more votes. Okay, hold on. Here's another crack pipe for you.
Hard to believe.
With that being said, you then have the scenario where, in my opinion, Joe still ran as, I'm just going to fix things as a centrist. And he was told, hey, we're going to build back better. And only every now and then did things slip out. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. I'm like, whoa, hold on, Joe. We've got you in the basement for a reason.
You can't say that.
All right, you can't say that. But most of it was, I'm running as the uniter who will fix us and who will bring things back from COVID. And he went as far left as possible. We had the audio from Joe Manchin, and Joe was like, you have the most crazy amount of people on he's like, the most diverse.
I tried to tell him.
You got the most crazy leftist running this entire thing that I've ever been around.
Yeah, just as dirty. And it's funny you talk about that. If you don't vote for me, you're not black, is what they said to black voters, which is so insulting. And then Barack Obama and the NAACP are backing the crazy white lib communist over the black woman because she's a conservative. The NAACP and Barack Obama, who said, remember he came out and scolded people.
Yes.
The black community for not voting for
He scolded
Kamala.
black men for not wanting to vote for Kamala Harris.
And now in Virginia.
Now he's scolding the community to make sure you vote for the
white lady, the liberal white lady.
Former CIA white lady who's like a total, cut out of the cloth of the deep state.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
His color never mattered.
Yeah. No, of course it was. Who's the most communist?
Color never mattered to Barack Obama unless it was needed.
Convenient. Yeah.
Yes, unless it was needed, unless it was convenient. I mean, you go and you listen to people that knew him when he was younger, and they talk about how, hey, he got around that husband, and that was when the fanaticism really kicked up. And it turned into, modern day, it turned into a Colin Kaepernick situation. That guy was a quarterback in the NFL, making $10 million, and he got around the wrong woman, and then he couldn't stop popping off with crazy leftist communist views. He couldn't stop, to the point where he was run out of the league because when his play fell off a little bit, it's like, we can't do this. This is too much.
Why would we put up with the trouble and not get anything in return?
And now he's no longer playing well, and he's way out there and inflammatory. I mean, this is a guy.
A horrible recipe.
This is a guy who created on Netflix, helped produce it, a documentary knocking the NFL for being a modern slave market, and then tried to get back into the league.
I know.
Okay, but sometimes it's a woman that pushes you to a whole other level. And by the way, Colin Kaepernick's parents, if you didn't know, he was adopted and they're white.
Yeah. He's the precursor. He's kind of the precursor of everything that we're seeing and experiencing now in America. It seems Obama, him, just that communist mindset, that communist desire that they wouldn't ever admit out loud, and now they rub it in your face and they want you to know.
Is this a moment for Dark Tug? Dark Tug.
That's right. I need to find something. I'd rather, no, that's too much. I was about to say.
Was that another edition of Dark Tug? Dark Tug.
Do you remember? Do you remember the Adam Sandler skit on Saturday Night Live when he was, it was him as the old man husband and Farley as the old woman. And it was such a funny skit. And he was always saying the worst things. And he was like, instead of listening to my wife, he's like, give me cancer now, God. Like, as awful as that is, I could not stop laughing. It's one of the funniest skits I've ever seen on Saturday Night Live.
Because that's what you were enjoying at the time.
It was dirty and dark. It was very, very dark humor.
So tomorrow
on Saturday Night Live,
we're going to have another edition. Now, I don't know, it's 6:03, 7:03.
You never know where it's going to rear its ugly head.
8:25. In fact, when we have a guest that's going to be coming up a little bit later this week, there might be a moment where Tug just turns into that guy, and we'll have to acknowledge it.
When it happens, things just go awry. The rails don't hold the train anymore. Train taking the dirt road with old Dark Tug. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors. Your home exterior solution since 1999, 8779. southernexteriors.co. They're doing the exact opposite of Dark Tug. They are doing a wonderful thing, giving away a full remodel of a home just in time for Christmas. They are doing it with exclusive and incredible James Hardy siding. Could be up to $30,000, depending on the size of your house. Register you or someone else in need of this remake, this remodel at southernexteriors.co, southernexteriors.co. In New York, the communists ask, is it radical to abolish ICE?
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free, plus no payments for 2 years.
Big moments deserve big-time craftsmanship. At Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we've been family-owned and operated since 1982 because we know what it means to show up when it counts. Jaron Solomon here, and that's why we're proud to be an official Tacori jeweler. Each Tacori ring is handcrafted in California, going through 20 elite artisans before it hits your hands. Not mass-produced, not generic, always personal. And with Solomon Brothers, you get lifetime cleanings, unbeatable financing, and the largest Tacori selection in Georgia. Stop by a store in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg. Visit SolomonBrothers.com to book your private appointment. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, where love is in the details and legends are built to last. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs and official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
This is Kelly Kroll asking you to step up to the plate for the men and women who have served our country and protected our freedom. The Warrior Alliance, an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, is helping thousands of veterans to achieve success after military service. Either you or someone you know has served and deserves our support. The best way to say thank you for your service is by helping a veteran round the bases on their journey home. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
There's a new way to keep your home safe that you should know about. It's called Simply Safe, and it's completely different from what you think of when you think of home security. Typical security systems don't really prevent somebody from entering your home. They only react once somebody's already inside of your home. That's too late. Real security stops a crime before it even starts. That's why over 4 million Americans trust Simply Safe to keep their homes and their families safe. I've worked with Simply Safe for years. They're smart, innovative, and I trust them to help you. The moment somebody steps onto your property, AI security cameras identify the threat and alert Simply Safe's professional monitoring agents. The agents take action immediately, confronting the criminal, and if they need to, triggering sirens and spotlights and dispatching the police. Simply Safe is like having your own personal security guard. And with a 60-day money-back guarantee and no long-term contract, Simply Safe earns your business by keeping you safe and satisfied each and every day. So get 50% off your new system. Just go to simplysafe.com/Beck. That's simplysafe.com/Beck for 50% off. There is no safe like Simply Safe.
Fox Rocks. I'm Monica DeLuca. Renee Rapp is postponing the final dates of her Bite Me tour. The The singer announced on social media, quote, "I've been pushing through an illness, but my body has finally given out," noting that she needs to rest her voice. The gigs were originally planned for Sunday in Atlanta and Monday in Florida, but will now be November 4th and 5th. All original tickets will be honored for the new dates. And Kevin Jonas is releasing his solo debut single called Changing. The eldest Joe Bro's new song will officially drop November 20th as the Jonas Brothers' 20th anniversary tour continues. While Kevin started out in the band with his younger brothers, Nick and Joe, in 2005, the group's other members began to venture out by 2011. That's Fox Rocks on Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, October 28th. A study from Texas A&M reveals that a new day of the week is now Metro Atlanta's worst for traffic congestion. The research found that while Fridays still have the highest total traffic volume, the longest delays and slowest average speeds happen on Thursdays. Experts attribute the pattern to hybrid work schedules. Many office-based workers commit to in-person days midweek, pushing more commuters onto the roads within a shorter period of time. A new online training program set to launch in 2026 aims to attract and train youth sports officials for local leagues in Georgia. The course is fully digital and designed for citizens to complete training and start officiating in community youth sports, helping address the growing shortage of game officials. The program is backed by funding from the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, the Atlanta Braves Foundation, and the NFL Foundation in partnership with the Georgia Recreation and Park Association. And former Georgia Governor and U.S. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue has been inducted into the National Agriculture Hall of Fame in Kansas City. Officials say Perdue will join past agriculture pioneers like Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson in the Hall's collection. He's the third Georgian inducted. Today's weather cloudy and chilly with some scattered showers. We have a high of 55. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
I was out of high school and into college, and it was today back in 1995, the Braves won the World Series. Gosh, dude, I had never been so happy in my whole life because I'd never seen any of my teams win, ever. You know, Georgia had been long removed, 15 years removed from, a national championship. The Braves, I'd watched them on TBS my whole life. You could buy seats in the dugout next to Dale Murphy for $10. I mean, it was just a horrible time for sports in the state. And so for the Braves, man, when they won that World Series, I was jumping up and down. It was that was the biggest sports joy I'd ever experienced.
Outside of the Dallas Cowboys, which that's 92, 93, 95, I thought to myself, like, well, this is like the peak years because the only teams I rooted for were San Antonio Spurs, the Dallas Cowboys, the Braves, and the Rangers. Now, it took a long time to see anything with the Rangers. But when it was the Braves, I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm like in the golden years. I'm like 15 years old. Like, we just keep winning all this stuff. And so by the time they got that trophy, and it would show up here, the 95 trophy, and people would have their picture taken with it from, back in 95. By the time they got the one in 21, I remember refusing to take a picture with it because I saw all of you who got your picture taken with it in 95, and it took this long
to get another
and what you look like now. I was like, I don't want to be that guy who takes a picture in 2021 going, here's me with the Braves trophy, and then the next one I see is when I'm 60.
Yeah.
Because that's how hard it is to do.
It is, man. And if think about it, I mean, the Braves have won the division almost every year, obviously until this year. And they've been really good, really competitive. It's so much fun. Yeah, they've just won one. And think about the 90s. It was hard to do. They just won one.
You can make the argument the best team in baseball, especially at the end of the year, was probably the Brewers. They didn't sniff it.
Mm-hmm.
You play a 3-day period of bad baseball, and you're out.
It's crazy,
so it's just hard.
It is so hard. People don't have any idea, I don't think.
And that's if you end up in that initial round where, all right, I'm going to play 3 games, and now I'm going to play 5 games. And by the way, even if you didn't have to play in the first round, now you're going to play the team that ended up winning. And now you just had the week off. Now you got to get it back going before you finally get to a 7-game series to potentially play another 7-game series in a World Series.
I think it's better not to win as often. I'm saying be competitive, but when you do win, there's an appreciation because if it happens every year, year after year after year.
Oh, no, I'd take that.
You don't think it loses a little bit of its luster?
And the reason why is because it's different when it's like a football season. Because the football season like flies by. Like you blink, it's almost over.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Georgia Tech fans right now, you're 8-0. And that's been a long time since that's happened.
Since the 60s, it just 4-0 in conference since the 60s.
But by the way, you basically have a month left in your season. Now you're going to play further after that, more than likely. But this has been a very fast ride.
Oh, my gosh, and so much fun.
Baseball is 7 months of a grind where it's 6 nights a week.
Yeah, maybe it is different. I can see that a little bit, actually.
Like, I like it if you're in it the whole time and you go through the season, and then whatever happens in the playoffs happens in the playoffs. There's nothing worse than when you play a season and you're basically going, all right, we're going to win 70 games this year.
We're done before
We're going to lose
break.
93. You're going to lose 92 ball games.
Yeah, it'd be terrible.
Like, it's brutal. Those are, and I had to cover those teams in Arlington with the Rangers. The early 2000s teams with A-Rod. I have to go down there and I'm watching Andres Galarraga, like all these guys that were like way past their prime. But they had A-Rod. You're like, oh, they'll be great. No, they were last place for 3 straight years.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jeff is calling in from Canada. I have a feeling.
Yes, Jeff.
Jeff is probably watching this World Series pretty closely. Jeff, what's on your mind, bud?
Oh, man, the whole country was up till 3 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy.
Man, Jeff, that was brutal. Over 6 hours on that game.
Oh, I got home from work and it just started, and I was just like, okay, this is good. I ran out of beer at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was bad.
I ran out of beer.
Oh, Jeff.
You're letting your Canadian culture down,
Jeff,
sir.
I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to admit this to you, and it's between us as friends. I have used Uber Eats because of a late night running out of vodka, and the only rule they have is you can't be intoxicated, so I had to pretend to not be intoxicated.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it out, sir. I can see that.
They can't deliver after a certain hour here. After 11 o'clock, you can't get alcohol.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, that's mine. It was like 8 o'clock. But, I mean, I started with like the noon kickoffs.
Yeah. Get it all done. Well, so do you think, in closing, Jeff, do you think, and congratulations on your Blue Jays, do you think they're going to be able to pull it off?
Thank you very much. I think it's going to be a nail-biter right down to the end.
Probably so. Probably going to go 7 games, I would imagine.
Well, see, but I think Jeff can appreciate this. Jeff has not seen a World Series since 1993.
Yeah.
And so when you get to it, it's like it's a magical season. Now, even if it doesn't finish your way, and trust me, that 2010, 2011 World Series with the Rangers, especially 2011 is one of the most painful sports memories I have because of how it went down. If you don't know Game 6 against the St. Louis Cardinals and the Texas Rangers, look it up. It's perhaps the most volatile game in terms of win probability in Major League Baseball playoff history.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's epic. And then they lost. Then the Rangers came out and scored 2 in the I think it was 2 or 3 to lead off Game 7 and proceeded to get smoked.
Yeah, that's the worst. Because it was like, was it 96 or 98 when the Braves were up 2-0?
96-2-0 against the Yankees.
Yeah. And then come home.
And here's Andrew, is like a 19-year-old knocking the ball at the ballpark, and you're like, whoa.
This is the greatest.
And at the time, it felt like, okay, well, the Yankees are here. But, what's the big deal? They're going up against the Braves.
Yeah.
This is the team of the 90s. Little did we know that the Yankees, based on their drafting and what they would develop into, became that other team and probably the team of the 90s.
The actual team of the 90s, yeah.
Man, they were great.
Yeah, the Braves' 14-year run's incredible. I used to argue John Smoltz was wrong, but when he said we gave you reason to watch every year for 14 years straight.
Every night.
It took me becoming a mature man before I realized that he was exactly right.
Well, you learned. The sign of maturity is that you're delaying gratification.
I guess so. Yes.
Like, there's a reason why. Do you eat dessert first?
No, I
As
don't.
a child, would you consider it?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
Yes.
see, you've matured.
Yes,
It's
I guess
delayed
so.
gratification.
But that's the thing, though. At the time, and I understand why people still say, they were so good, how did they only win one? And it goes back to where we started. It's freaking hard. It's hard. It's a very difficult game. It's a very difficult task. I appreciate the Braves of the 90s, and I'm glad that I was able to live that and see it come down. And congratulations. 1995, today in 95, Braves won the World Series. One of the highlights of my sports fandom, my sports fan career, if you will.
That's awesome.
Let's go back up to New York City because they've got a question, Los. Is this a radical idea that they've stumbled upon?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like it.
So they had, and this would have been the Mamdani AOC, their rally that they had, and it was one after another of the wild talking points. For instance, chance of tax the rich. All right, the rich are already taxed at a level in New York, not everywhere, but in New York between your federal and state, it makes it real hard to avoid not paying whatever your fair share is.
Whatever that
you know, you're going to pay 50% of your income, over 50% of your income that's going to be going to the state and federal. So their plan is, if we can just tax you more, without any thinking that anybody with money just moves. And now...
And has the money to move.
And when you have large amounts of money, then you really don't draw much of an income. You make it a point. It's like, my money works in the market. It's like, you don't touch it until I choose to take it out, and I'll pay the capital gains on it. And at that point, you might be able to get a little piece of it. But it's the reason why, and the argument's always been from the left, you know, Warren Buffett's secretary spends more in taxes than Warren Buffett. Because Warren Buffett's not drawing an income. Right. It's an income tax for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, that's what it is.
But people that don't think just hear that and regurgitate it. I feel like I've heard that at a family gathering before.
I feel like Aunt Peg has gone down that road.
Couple times.
I'm somebody who's done the taxes for our family for the better part of like 14, 15 years. I was like, I think I know the tax code pretty decently. I think I understand how this works. But here's another one. And this is only going to be like 6 seconds worth of this. But this is one of the people at the rally who decides to ask the question, because they're being called radicals, right? There are these people. They're all radicals. And she asked the question, is it radical to think this?
Is it radical to fight to abolish ICE?
Yes. You bunch of crazies.
Is it? Now, had this been 2020, they would have said, is it radical to abolish the police?
No. The answer would have actually been yes.
In fact, so many of these communities, and this is kind of the MO of it. It's the white liberal cat lady who doesn't have to deal with any of this stuff, who doesn't care one bit about what happens in any of the inner cities where people actually need more police presence. No! What do you think it comes down to when white liberal cat lady, she's not concerned about the person who's here that's illegal and what could possibly they could be involved in?
Most often never has to experience it, never has to deal with it. She's in her, in her safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably if she's up there behind a gated community.
Whereas regular everyday Americans, the ones that are just having to live life in these communities, they're the ones that are having to catch the brunt of this stuff.
And I have no ill will toward her because she's been in a position where she can live in a gated community. Good for her.
Fine.
But don't screw everybody else because of it.
Because this does not... Her intentions, remember, it's always about my intentions.
Results.
My results. Her intentions are, well, this is going to make me the good-hearted person. You're not thinking about who it actually screws over, ever.
Well, because you don't have to. You don't have to get past just the initial emotional reaction. You don't have to get past. You don't have to think past that.
And by the way, let's also bring up the difference in us two, because we have pointed out, me, Jere, Tug, all of you, for the most of you who are listening out there, there is a difference in all of us and all of them. And it's not unfair to say this. It's not talking like, oh, we're cutting the country in half. No, they're actually a much smaller amount than we are. Because when, by and large, you ask everyday Americans, this number has polled and has been the same for 10, now going on 11 months. If you've committed a crime in this country outside of the crime of coming into the country, 76% of all Americans believe you should be sent out of this country. 56% of all Americans believe no matter what, if you're here illegally, you need to leave this country. Those are majority numbers. And yet, you have a rally in New York where they're like, abolish ICE. That group is there. I say the difference in the two. They rose a 70,000 person army under Joe Biden to chase your tax dollars with the IRS.
With arms, by the way.
We raised a larger ICE force to take care of the laws of the land. We are not the same.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
They want your money. We're going out saying, let's protect the homeland.
We are on the right side of history. You listening now are on the right side of history. Says the Morning Extra at Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hour, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999, giving away a James Hardy siding remodel. If you need this done to your home or you know someone who is in need of it, go to southernexteriors.co and click on the red Christmas button on the website. Get yourself or someone else registered there. Could be up to $30,000 depending on the size of your house. southernexteriors.co, southernexteriors.co. If Angel Face says it, then who are we to argue? Next on the Morning Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, October 28th. The LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays took more than 6 hours to determine just who was going to lead the World Series. The Dodgers won 6-5 in 18 innings. Former Atlanta Brave Freddie Freeman hits a walk-off homer to end it. The Dodgers now lead the World Series 2-1. Game 4 is set for tonight. First pitch is set for 8 o'clock. The Atlanta Hawks are now off to a 1-3 start after losing in Chicago last night to the Bulls, 128-123. The team is back in action Wednesday night in Brooklyn. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Primary school classroom teacher positions offered by Atlanta International School in Atlanta, Georgia. Collaboratively plan inquiry-based lessons across subject boundaries in a transdisciplinary manner with a co-teacher. Please submit resume to peopleandculture@aischool.org. Reference job ID 9013920. Again, please submit resume to peopleandculture@aischool.org. Reference job ID 9013920.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
The older I get, the more I think about trust. I think about the people in my life who have my trust and earned my trust, and the trust that I have placed in some people who I later learned abused that trust. I know we're alike in that way. We don't trust a lot of people anymore. It's like we're all Ronald Reagan, trust but always verify to make sure we're not making a mistake. I find it a little exhausting, quite honestly, and that's why I started realestateagentsitrust.com. I didn't have good experiences with buying and selling my homes. So we built Real Estate Agents I Trust to introduce you to one of the thousands of agents all over the country that we work with, that we have verified that they will help you have the most successful and good real estate transaction possible. Our network agents share our sensibilities, have great track records, are good and decent people, and I trust them to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're moving across town or across the country, visit realestateagentsitrust.com. The name says it all, realestateagentsitrust.com.
It's Fox Wheels.
President Trump signed a law in July to boost auto affordability and sales with new car loan interest deductions that allow us to claim up to $10,000 in interest on new 2025 through 28 vehicles assembled in the U.S. The IRS says borrowers will need to file a new Schedule 1A for consolidation on 1040 forms, beginning with 2025 federal income tax returns to claim the deduction. The IRS is also outlining ways lenders can share loan interest info with buyers via online portals. According to Edmunds, new car buyers paid over $9,000 in loan interest on average during the first quarter of 2025. And there are some requirements with the new law that vehicles must be purchased and not leased, and for personal use. The deduction also phases out for higher incomes. That's Fox Wheels. I'm Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Securing America. It's a weapon we constantly hear about, most recently because of the Russia-Ukraine war. Tomahawks, one of America's most precision strike missiles, and President Trump is considering sending some to Ukraine to help. But what is it exactly? They have a range of 1,000 miles, fly as low as 100 feet, making them harder to detect by radar. It's 20 feet long and just 21 inches wide, essentially a pole with little wings equipped with a turbo fan engine and sophisticated guidance. And when multiple are fired at the same time, they can take separate routes at 500 miles per hour and then meet up and hit a target in a coordinated strike. Today's models can loiter over a target for hours, take optical scans, and wait for other missiles to arrive before detonating. They can disperse cluster munitions over a wide pattern to hit airfields or carry a unitary warhead for harder targets. Tom Graham, Fox News.
Atlanta legends are only on Extra 106.3 with the one and only Kimmer on your ride home every afternoon.
Well, he's done it again. He's on X now. John Rocker. He's calling for, he said there should be an American Citizen Drive selection for Uber. He said, I don't want to be driven around by somebody who was riding a Camel 12 months ago.
It's the Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10. Kimmer this afternoon, 3 until 6. Right after we're done, the Glenn Beck programming, and of course that noon, the biggest show in all of conservative media. That is the Clay and Buck Show here on Extra 106.3. So when Angel Face speaks, we listen. Hard not to listen to her.
She's available right now. Like, I've reached out to her office before.
Well, we need to reach out again.
Be like, hey,
you want to go to Waffle House?
We're not going to tell you what your nickname is.
That's right. Because you might find it disrespectful.
You might find it disrespectful.
Wouldn't. She wouldn't. She's cooler than that.
I mean, we refer to, like, I call MTG my spirit animal. Like, she fights you.
That's right.
She's going to stand up for what she thinks. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we've got Lady Graham.
Yes.
I just want to bomb the Iranians.
Yeah, I want to bomb anybody I can make some money off of.
I just want to bomb all of them.
Yeah,
just want to bomb them all.
Yeah,
Make sure you go ahead and vote for Trump, everybody. And we got some where, there's Grandma Vodka.
Yes, that's right.
There's characters here. Well, she's Angel Face. So she was on with Patrick Bet David, and they finally got into the area where I was rubbing my hands together because I was looking for stuff. I'm like, when is she going to talk about what Tug cares about the very most?
Yes, this is important.
And because there's JFK and Tug's like, whatever, the mob and CIA. I'm like, well, what about RFK? All right, well, you know what? Still, same organizations. Like, what about MLK? System disruptor. It doesn't interest Tug. Like, what about COVID? How was it released? What occurred? Tug's like, whatever, water under the bridge. But when it comes to UAP and alien aircraft and the 7 races and everything that's out there and its connection to the Bible, that is all that Tug really cares about. And this is what Angel Face had to tell him.
When we were talking to some of the witnesses, they don't call them extraterrestrial. They call them interdimensional. There's also this aspect of these things defying physics as we know it. And then you look into texts that were removed from the Bible, like the Book of Enoch, that actually specifically address technologies, if you will, that were given to mankind or of entities not of human origin, non-human intelligence. So these are all things to consider when addressing the topic. But based on what I've seen, not speculating, based on the evidence that I've seen, there's something out there.
I believe in angels and demons.
There you go, Tug.
Without a doubt.
That is the angle that she is talking about it in terms of. Does that make you want to kind of go like,
Well, yeah. I mean, no, I find it
interesting.
I find it fascinating. I find it interesting. And that's the thing. I've never said I don't believe in anything because I believe in the supernatural. I can't say I don't if I believe in angels and demons.
I thought it was a moment where you go, where she brought up, and this is somebody who, as she says, she's Christian, but here's where her belief system is, and here's what she thinks. And she said, wouldn't it seem incredibly faulty of us? And I'm not quoting her directly, but she said, wouldn't it seem incredibly faulty of us to know how amazing God is, yet he only made one species? And so that was like, are we that kind of egotistical, that arrogant, that unknowing that we would think, well, we're this entire galaxy with all this stuff and we're the only thing?
See, I still believe we're the only thing, but I think if there's something else, it is probably,
You think it's biblical in nature?
I think it was
Interesting.
probably, right?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes. Like
And
Bigfoot, all that stuff. I'm like, no.
Yeah. I don't have any time for that. But I do believe, like people that only believe in science, right? They say, well, I'm a scientist and I don't believe in the Bible. I think the Bible and science overlap. I think probably one proves the other.
I believe so. I think that there's aspects, because science, as it should, it does change. And there are things that have gone on that we cannot prove or disprove at all with science. You're like, okay, I don't know what to say
evolution,
about that.
I mean, the people, that's what they always go to, and they got no proof of it.
But that's also the other fascinating part is when you look at the evolution of the human being, you can look into what occurred basically 200,000 years ago, and we can't explain what happened to us in terms of what's happened to every other creature on Earth.
Yeah.
It's like, how did we suddenly just change into what we are?
Right. Yeah. I have no way of knowing. I believe that there is one God, there is one creator. Obviously, I believe in the supernatural because I believe in the resurrected Christ deeply. That's it means that truth.
Which is why you enjoyed the Shroud of Turin story.
That's exactly right, man.
Shroud of Turin is a fascinating story.
When they x-ray that thing and they're like, we think this is the actual shroud.
They're like, we can't recreate this.
That's right.
We don't know how this was done.
Fascinating. All of it is.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah. Interdimensional. When she said that makes perfect sense because there has to be, if I can't see an angel, I can't see a demon, but I know they exist. There has to be a different dimension that I'm not seeing it. Some people think dogs can see in that different dimension, right?
So if we had Angel Face ever on, Angel Paulina Luna, and we'd actually have to call her that too, by the way.
We would have to be honest.
Her name.
No, but at some point we'd have to be honest and say we call you Angel Face because that would be disrespectful.
Tell you, we call you Angel Face because
but we
we're fans.
We'll be respectful and say yes, Congresswoman.
Yes, Congresswoman Angel Face. Wouldn't you want to have like half hour,
especially with
and
her,
to ask some of these things?
Sure.
Now, part of it, and she'll flat out tell you, and she's done it on a number of interviews. They know more now than they did 6 months ago, 10 months ago when they started.
And a year from now, they'll know even more.
So it's a matter of...
We got 3 years of her being able to work.
It's when do you decide, here's what we're going to do, and then when is she, because she's talked about it when it comes to the stuff she's been shown in a skiff. And if you'll tell the audience, basically that's where secure files can be viewed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Secure rooms, secure files can be looked at.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't tell you all the stuff I've seen in there.
Which is fascinating.
I'm like,
not like the Shroud of Turin. Fascinating.
I'm like, that is why Waffle House exists.
And especially with her,
tell me,
being vocal about her faith, because I know it comes, or I'd like to think it comes from a place of genuine interest, genuine. Genuine. I guess that's just the best way. Genuine interest,
just being honest about it.
But the perspective that I share with her. So it's not going to be some just rando that has no faith to them, that doesn't care about my faith and maybe even dismisses it. It doesn't have any respect for it. At least I know that we share somewhat of the same values, the same beliefs. So for her to bring it in from that perspective, I'd be open to talking to her. I'd be open to talking to her anyway. However. Yeah, to be able to get her on would be great.
She also really angers a lot of Washington, which I'm like, I'm all on board for that.
That's my,
like party leadership.
That's probably the best part.
Because she's the one who was being one of the primary people who is pushed on we shouldn't be able to allow Congress people to own stock.
Well, that and being double citizens or whatever. I forget how she describes it, but dual citizens, not double, dual.
And so,
fine by me.
You have so much of leadership that is like, you're going to end the republic if you do this. Like, really? It's because people in Congress
electing a communist in New York is going to end the republic.
Yes,
that's what's going to end the republic.
Getting rid of insider trading is not going to end the republic.
Definitely not. We got some work to do, man.
I know.
We got some work to do. We got to.
We're gonna have to
get on the horn.
We're gonna have to write out our questions too, which we never do. It's like here's our general idea of what I want to ask, what you want to ask. But if we have a limited amount of time, it's now going to turn into, all right, which one of us gets to hear about some of this? Like, can you give us a little bit of details what you haven't seen in a skiff?
Yeah.
Need to ask her about what's coming in December.
Yeah. They did talk a little bit about that.
3i Atlas.
About the 3i Atlas.
The mothership.
It's weird. It's totally weird.
It's on the way.
Yeah, it's headed in. It's inbound.
Yeah. And it's not reacting like anything else out there.
I know. I've seen it discussed. I've not spent a lot of time with it.
Oh, Tug, we gotta do a deep dive into that one.
Well, maybe a story time tomorrow. Or by the end of the week. How about that?
End of the week. End of the week fun story time on 3i
Atlas. Time to compile
It's just weird, man.
I'd rather talk about Angel Face. I mean, if we're just being completely honest. 3i Atlas, Angel Face. Angel Face wins every time.
Listen, I'm right there with it. And by the way, it's AOC who also wants to ban the insider trading with her.
Imagine that.
I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, imagine that. She jumps in with that. Trying to be common sense at one time in her career once. She tries to be. No, she's full of it. Completely full of it. That'll do it for us. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Stick around for Beck, for Los, and Jure. I'm Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.